George is just showing me how baby May smiles. I just had to slap him around a few minutes. Good morning. Look who's back. Yeah, welcome back, George. Sleeping all week?
I'm always asleep.
Give me some sugar. Hey, you got tater tot on your cup. What do you think?
Tater tot.
Show tater tot. Check it out. George beat me up. He beat that poor kitten up and beat it up.
Tater tot. Real guy.
Rip.
Yeah, one of the neighbors, I was feeding the stray cats.
Rip.
And one of the neighbors went out and says, "Oh, you're a pet lover." Yes, I love cats. They
Probably
taste
a
really
female.
good.
He's not even kidding there. Throw a little nape and a little bit of barbecue on.
A bit of barbecue sauce, you're good to go.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today is Saturday in the Philippines. We will wrap up what we covered this week, or what I covered while George was sleeping and working. And did you get any rest this week?
No.
Went to the mechanic, of course. Maybe he'll report in what's going on with the car. And we are going to discuss the different type of expat and the vloggers, probably mostly smack about the vloggers, of the delusional, indifferent, and enlightened. Which one am I?
No comment.
Which am I?
No comment. No comment.
Just one of them?
I want to live. I want to live.
Forever.
I want to live.
You and Tater Tot are going to have matching costumes this year, aren't you? Both of you with a headstone above your head. Welcome back.
All right. True story. True story.
And on this note, we're going to do the Trump thing. We're going to say our condolences to the families. No, they were talking about Trump and the way he gave his condolences about the families of the flight. Yeah.
No, I was just showing her when they took the car to the mechanic. That's all.
He was like placing a lot of blame on different things, and now he's saying it's dealing with, I don't even want to get into that, but our hearts do go out to the families of those who were lost. It seemed to be some not Olympians, but some figure skaters. For those that didn't know, I don't know how many of you guys actually knew it. There was a police officer that was on board that was taking some sort of vest to be inspected and brought back to the Philippines about being used for, I don't know if it was for fire retardancy or just, hey, I can say the word retard now. Oh, wait a minute.
He probably should have worn the vest, just saying.
Probably. But there was a police officer, a Philippine officer that was in there. At first, they weren't willing to release the actual, who it was, but now they actually have released the list. And I'm going to throw something on George here as the room is building. And here comes the internet all freaking morning. Nothing.
But here's the thing. It happened in the U.S.
Yeah, he was going to Washington, or was in Washington, to get some sort of...
And the reason why I brought that up, because it's not the first time, nor will it be the last, because the air traffic control... Guys, air traffic control is a serious thing. It's
they overwork, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a major thing. But speaking of air traffic control, you guys are going to hate me for this. Elon Musk has announced that he can get from the U.S. to Tokyo in 1 hour. He can go from London to Tokyo in less than 30 minutes, and he can go from the U.S. to London in 28, 27. So I put it together. It could take less than an hour to get to the Philippines.
Yeah, but he's talking about a space flight, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know. He says he's going to use the same technology. I don't care how he does it. They say, there goes rocket number 478 over above us. They heading to Tokyo. What do you think?
Without using a reentry vehicle?
Oh, snap. So you're saying he's going to go dump and then back down? Like everybody's going to have to jump out
It's
of
not a new
pods?
concept. Well, here's the thing. It's not possible without a reentry vehicle because you're limited to speed, aka, and especially now since the Concorde and the Tupolev are not allowed to fly anymore because of the sonic boom destroys our ozone layer.
Oh, forget about the ozone layer. Nobody cares about that anymore.
Well, they care enough that they grounded both planes, the Concords and the Tupolevs. 144s, I believe, is the number. They grounded them because you can't go sonic boom on a commercial flight. So what I'm saying is, Elon Musk can't use current technology
He said yes.
unless
He already said
no, that
yes.
doesn't make sense. So he's skewing things a bit. I'm going to tell you right now.
M. Doggyful said, yeah, on an LSD trip. But
Right?
that would be nice,
No.
though, even if they
Yes, an
could
LSD would be a nice trip. Yes. I
not,
agree.
not,
I agree with Heidi. She said it would be a nice trip.
you wouldn't
Yes,
know anything beyond a rum trip.
this is true. But anyway, hey,
Would
I
you
can
like,
dream. I have a dream.
would you like control of the old hand control here?
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. But
Well, it
yeah.
kind of does. Oh, snap. We got the.
If there's one thing I've learned that certain college professors that whenever you're doing a test, if they ask you to say, okay, say what Martin Luther the Martin Luther King's famous speech. If you just say I have a dream and then sweet dreams are made of these and you just write it all down and they'll give you an A plus anyway because most of the time they don't even actually look. They just look at the first letters.
Now you can just have AI write it.
Well, I'm talking about handwritten tests. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of college professors that don't even check. And
They too busy.
what'd you get, George? I got an A plus. How? I wrote down the lyrics to Eurythmics.
That wasn't even funny.
I wasn't trying to be funny. I was talking about history, literally.
All right, say hello to the people while I look up some problems.
Hello. Hello.
Jiminy Christ. It never fails. Never freaking fails.
What was that? Oh, good morning,
Baby
Cindy.
May said how she got scammed in the Philippines. Talking about somebody enlightened. Would we consider Baby May and Old Dog enlightened expats?
Okay. First off, Baby May is not an expat.
I said Baby May and Old Dog.
No.
She probably is an expat somewhere.
Well, if she went to the U.S., then yeah, or Thailand, then yes, she's an expat over there. But no, I believe. Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
I
First off,
rehired you just to bring you on the show. I didn't bring you on here to correct me, sir.
I'm not trying to correct you.
I'm just
I'm saying that. Do I believe? Okay, talking about enlightened.
Yeah, are they enlightened over the problem with the house that we discussed this week?
Okay, well, actually, Old Dog is enlightened. Period. Regardless
Yeah,
of the house,
Yeah.
he's enlightened. He's wise. When you're wise, you're enlightened.
Yeah, and I think that's why he gets so much flack. I think he does a lot of good, and those that mess with him. We've covered some things that he's done, but I call that just, yeah. So no, he's definitely enlightened for sure.
Right.
So good morning, Cindy.
Morning.
Oh, sorry, Cindy. I had it up there.
Yeah, no, it was. It says, "Good morning."
Can you see that?
Oh, um, hey Ted, hi Cindy G, and you beautiful people. Ted, my man, smiling be happy, thumbs up. And Doggy Fool says, "What's up?"
What is
Sarah Tyson says, "Hello, Heidi and George. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning, Sarah.
Bear in the Philippines. Good morning, all." Paul says, "Hi."
Hey, Pause, what's up? And a big shout out to our second channel, Expat-Tainment Philippines, which, by the way, we're still keeping the name. The only other name that we came up with that you missed, because I know you haven't had no time to catch up on there, is they were trying to throw in, we should call it Drama Mama Philippines. Just totally scratch you off of it.
I'm not gonna lie. That actually sounds pretty good.
We said while you were sleeping, we's going to change the name. Hey, I have a chance to change the name today. Tell us if you guys like the Expat-Tainment, which just means entertaining, informing, and all that. Or we turn it over to Drama Mama Philippines. How about Drama Papa and Mama Philippines? Too bad, sucker, that you already emptied the trash can out, fool. It's somebody out there.
That's the scavenger guy. Paul says hi.
So we could call Drama Papa and Mama Philippines. Drama Mama and Papa Philippines.
Well, sounds like the mama and the papa.
Right,
no.
Drama Mama and Papa.
I want to put the papa in.
Well, it's you in there though.
I get it, but it sounds like more like the mamas and the papas.
You're the check collector anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh, that leaves that
Drama Mama Philippines. What do you guys think?
Smile and be happy. Top rules.
He did not know about the cup. By the way, only a few of you got a sneak peek on the cup, and I had sent it out to a few people, and they thought we were selling the cups, and I was like, "Yeah, no, it's just basically just for in-house and stuff." We got like different mugs, although I'm supposed to be working on it on our members, like for people that are doing the memberships and everything. I was thinking about doing mugs for our top members and subscribers and stuff, and I thought, we don't have enough room on the shelf situation. What am I going to do with 10,000 mugs?
Right. Tony Manning.
Tony.
Hey, Tony. Good morning. Pause. There's another crash in Philadelphia.
Oh, snap.
Do you guys know, just random factoid, that Philadelphia means the city of brotherly love? But anyway, I'm not making that up. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike. How you doing, Mike? Good morning, all.
Looks like Philip Mays is in the house also, and Kate Dallas. Hey, Black Grandpa's in the house.
Good morning, George and Heidi.
And thank you, Ted, for being in there, and Sarah.
Oh, wait. Like right now. Spell Me Happy says just now. Medical jet.
You know, the air traffic controllers, pilots, and all these guys are really overworked right now. So I'll be glad when the future gets here. Because they're talking about, like, in the future with AI and everything, like medical, making money, all of this will be a lot more simpler. I don't know how, but supposedly there won't, including everything. Like the future is really supposed to be super bright, and a lot of stuff like this will not exist in the far, far, far future.
Well, I'm not gonna. Okay, now here's.
I mean, I don't even know how they're saying medical is going to be free. Everybody's going to be making good money. How is AI going to change all of that? There's been a lot of AI stuff coming through since the White House made these announcements.
The problem you face, just real quick, I'm not going to go deep into this, only because this is a vlog on its own, and it's not going to be covered in our channel. The problem you face, fact, guys, and I'm not making this up. It only takes common sense. Now you have two problems here. Some will blame the pilots, some will blame the air traffic controllers. Mm-hmm. Of course, they have to point it on somebody, but point is, it's both. Okay. Yeah. Second, you know who the real culprit is, and a lot of people don't realize this.
The people buying the tickets.
Incorrect. No, social media, the smartphones. You know why? Because air traffic controllers and pilots nowadays have less sleep than ever before because of social media.
Not even kidding. We were just discussing that the other day. It's like I told George, I said, like with me having high anxiety to begin with, my entire life, ADHD, if I wake up at 3:30 to go to the bathroom, which I'm menopausal and middle-aged woman, then it's hard for me to get back to sleep even right away. So then I pick my phone up and then I'm scrolling and scrolling, and there's me and Tweety and George is over there sleeping, and I'm just scrolling through stuff, and 2 hours later there I still am, and you can't help yourself.
And then you have gaming too. Same thing, pilots and air traffic controls. Now, this is not a joke. There's this game called Skyrim. This is not a joke. When you play certain video games, they're so addictive. You look at the clock, it's like, oh, it's midnight. I
can attest for me.
Next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, I'm not making this up.
No, we used to game.
I have to go to work, and then you go to work and you pilot whatever, a pilot or a crane or drive a forklift. heavy machinery or sensitive
All the
machinery.
caffeine in the world ain't gonna help that.
Correct. It's the
'Cause-
modern world. Correct.
We used to deal with that a lot because we used to work like hours. It's early AM till about midnight, and then we're like, okay, we've already eaten dinner and this, and that, and then we both used to game the same games at the same time. We were just sitting there watching movies and gaming. It's like, George, it's 3 a.m. He's like, what? And this used to happen. We used to like drift into some weird, like it was weird how time went by and everything. And
Yeah. So no, I get it, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's the modern world we have to deal with. Tony Manning says, "I had a dream, but I woke up." There you go. Philip Macy, hi, Heidi and George.
Kumasta ka.
Yeah, how are you? Black Grandpa, shout out from Brampton, Ontario, Canada.
Hey.
From the frozen tundra. Wow, that's us a little dark there from the frozen tundra, from the frozen wasteland.
That's like Florida in that.
Hey, Curtis, Cedric Edwards, how you doing? Cedric Curtis Doran, I believe that's why he got rid of the last name. Good morning, gang. Kay Dallas, hello, Kay Dallas.
Good
morning. I like that. Okay, I like that. You get points for that one.
Expat-Tainer.
Yes.
Like entertainer.
What
happened to my drama mama?
I still like drama mama better. Yes. Black Grandma says, I like Philippine Antics since the original one of its. No, not this.
We have a second channel.
The other channel.
We have
Black Grandpa. Thank you though. Appreciate it.
We have actually a couple different channels. We have at least 6 that I can mention right now, and the other ones are musical. And then we had the pet channel, and the pet channel has officially about a month ago had turned into more of an expat help, because we do mostly live streams here where we do that help on air. And so it's been called Expat-Tainment, so Philippines. So we just renamed the pet channel. It used to be Mango and Pet Friends or something. And so we just decided that we might as well turn that one into where we're doing more of female expat help and everything. And it just keeps me busy and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of keeps my anxiety, and that way it's kind of like free therapy, talking to you guys through comments and stuff. And so it's a good situation. I enjoy, have fun, but it was like George's ideal that it was just a kind of a dormant account that had been open for, I don't know, I think he said about 2 years. And so we thought we would just add to it, and we renamed it probably more than a month ago. So yeah, we're just not this one. Philippine Antics stays on this one for sure, but we mostly just do live streams, and we drop like some food videos, or when we went on vacation. We think we're going to take those vacation videos and the food visits, and we're mostly going to split them. It'll probably go on to our memberships that we do have, guys. By the way, check out our memberships, and then they'll go over to the other channel. So yeah.
Yeah. Silverrain says Skyrim is a good one. Yes, and so is the modern version or future version is Fallout. Now, Jazzy, I don't disagree with you. However, be aware your version of normal, it may not be. It doesn't
even.
Well, what I'm saying is, I get it that he could say that normal people don't play video games at all night. I'm sorry. The reason why I say I can't agree with you is because here's the thing.
Real gamers.
Most pilots, okay, are ex-military pilots, and they're usually gamers.
Yep. And so evidently, I mean, I'm not saying that you're not a gamer.
The best,
you would understand if you were a gamer.
The best gamers I know out there are all in the military, retired or otherwise, but they have military backgrounds. I mean, that's why they're in the military in the first place. You know, they want to go like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get the point. That's the reason why they went in the military.
Especially in this day and age.
They want that adrenaline rush, whether it's real or not.
It's their hit of dopamine.
Correct.
And professionals are doing it. You'd be surprised how many get hooked on it and lose time.
Right.
It's also their escape from reality.
And that's why I said that is because of the pilots. Most pilots are U.S. Air Force. Well, in this case, because it's in the U.S. But anyway, you
Yeah.
get the picture. You get a picture. But I guess, like I said,
Mhm.
normal. That's kind of debatable because again, some people
We're
say,
losing the fan because of your like the whole.
well,
It's behind now.
yeah. Oh, it's down. That's why.
Well, I know, but now it's being blocked. That's why.
Cleo Craig says, "Oh yes, I'm a flight attendant, and you are on point with addictive social media.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the pilots have rules to not use their devices during critical. Well, yeah, but you just never know. Well, it's not that they're on social media while they're flying. It's prior to that they have less sleep. My theory, but it's possible that they're on there too.
I
I mean,
don't get why all of a sudden the DEI, the diversity group, they're blaming everything. He's mentioning, the president mentioned that it was dealing with their hiring of the DEI people. And there's all kinds of stuff going on right now. No, I think there's a bunch of other stuff going on. So,
wow.
but it's social media, guys. Speculation. Even the president, they just had that on the news how he actually says, well, I was going to speculate or blah, blah, blah. And he was talking about, I can give you right now a speculation. And I'm like, and there's like, everybody gossips,
Well,
everybody speculates. And it's the day and age where even the president is so social media right now. It's unreal. He is so social media.
my
And
grandpa
so,
says that plane crash in Philly was a residential and business neighborhood. Victor C. Hey, George and Heidi, nice to see you.
hey,
Just real quick. Actually, most of the plane crashes are in residential neighborhoods, but this one's a little too big to kind of bypass, I guess. Um,
it's been doing that for like 2 days. I restarted the router, restarted the phone, and I don't get that. It's doing it here. I haven't opened up any strange apps, no, but it's been doing that on
yeah.
everything. Any reason?
Well, it could be the server itself.
All of it, all servers, everything.
Okay, could be. Remember, today's the first. Oh,
And
you
it's
mean the
been
other
doing
days?
it for a few
But you know,
days. So I'll try restarting it
yeah.
again. Say,
Victor C. Hi, George and Heidi. Nice to see you. Yeah. Clear Craig says people can't tell me I'm on my phone is the jump seat. Neither can anyone tell if pilots are actually on their phones while. No, no. Well, like I said, it's not so much as the
where's
social
your
media
glasses, babe?
as in they're piloting and they're on social media. I mean, it's possible, but I'm talking about lack of sleep more than anything. Victor C says liked. Hey, hey Lou, you're still here. Hi George and Heidi.
Hey,
The sun came out today in Texas. Nice for. Oh, I guess it's been raining there, right? FX Raider says expat pets.
yep, no, that's a hard pass. I'm just, yeah, the whole point of changing the channel over is the pets will be on there on both channels anyways. So I'm like, I'm not going to focus on just the pets. Right now, it seems to be taking off as far as, covering expats again, because there's a lot more females coming too. We were recommended a few years ago to turn Philippine Antics mostly into being me trying to bring people over as females. You weren't going to push people 4 years ago to come as female expats, but now, and I'm not saying they're not here, but now with the crisis going on in the United States, I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a bunch of people jumping ship. The president is reforming the government. You guys have no idea the big upset that's coming in the United States. They're going to cut most of the benefits. They're going to go through and start cutting back the government spending, and only the rich will keep getting richer. In the next 5 to 10 years, with the AI situation, there's going to be a lot of emotional up and downs. The new generation will be able to get over things a little quicker than us being in an older generation. But there's just going to be a whole bunch of ups and downs with AI. There's a bunch of turbulence coming. It's going to be critical because after 10 years, things will be like a whole new world. In 10 years, it will be something you won't even recognize. So we'll be in them stages of like seeing a bunch of restaurants close, a bunch of companies close. Did you hear the president stated, George, that he's going to be putting jobs back in America, building everything back in America. Products, he's telling people to come from around the world and open factories, and all the tax breaks he'll get for people coming there. Why would they pay Americans to build these products?
Well, now
And bringing all the jobs back to America. And that was the problem before. And I get all the jobs were
there's
taken, and
there's nothing. Well, actually, here's the real reason why. I mean, I'm not judging the president by any means. He must know or will do something about. Again, remember, this has nothing to do with me.
I mean, people aren't going to take
I'm
less
not the
pay. You're going to have to
president.
pay $20 an hour to
I'm
get
not.
somebody back in the factory.
I'm not the president. I'm not. The. I'm just stating that the obvious one. The real problem why American products are really high is because of the union. Again, I don't have a problem with the union. That's
Cost of
I'm not
labor.
right because of the union. The cost of labor goes
Mhm.
up. Yada yada yada. So what I'm saying is, in order for him to get all American, which is there's nothing wrong with it. That's the way it should be for an all American economy to work is if Americans start buying American products again. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about the U.S. here, not talking about other Western countries. But the problem is, he has to some way, somehow, tackle the union. That's
Isn't that what happened to Kennedy?
JFK, RFK, Martin Luther King. I'm not gonna go there.
TFK,
Not today.
TGK.
No,
Not
not
today.
today, and not today.
Not
All
today,
right,
Satan.
not the wrong
You
channel.
could have just said, not
This
today,
is the
Heidi.
wrong channel.
No,
for that.
actually, this is the right channel.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Trust
you're
me.
going to save it for the other
That's
channel?
a deep rabbit hole.
Okay, so,
Anyway,
but
yeah.
as I was saying about the female expats, now is the time to get the hell out of Dodge, all of you. For I just seen 2 other videos today. They seem to be legit interviews of people. Now, can you pay a bunch of these people on the street to say what you need if you have a fairly high channel? Some do pay for these interviewees. But for the most part, they're saying that a lot of people are on all these benefits that are about ready to be cut. The increase of the homeless was like by 18% post pandemic. All these things are going south. And with what the president's doing and the job cuts and the tariffs and cheap groceries, cheap rent is nowhere in sight. These things are only going to get higher. So I say it's worth the risk, guys. I used to bitch every day about 5-10 times a day. Now I'm down to about 4 times a day. So I'm getting better, right? No,
Blame social media.
you can't blame social media for me saying it's dang hot
No,
and the bugs
no. Okay,
and
first
the
off,
guys digging through the
I'm not
trash.
anti-social media. That was a joke. Although it's partially, it's part of it. I, you guys have to admit it's part of it. What I'm saying is, you guys ever remember in the 80s or in the 90s?
Try
Okay,
this.
in the 80s or the night. Well, it doesn't help me read.
I'm going to give you this to read.
Yeah.
You can see it.
No, not really.
Okay. You haven't even tried it.
Yeah, because that's smaller.
Comments are up there. You can, but that's okay.
Um,
That's all right. Never mind.
all right. So anyway,
I'm sorry. I was just trying to give you something. Okay, you're talking about social media.
I know.
Sorry, but I was just trying to give you something to read so we can circulate the air. Sorry I disturbed you.
Well, it's not that. It's interrupted. You know, the train is derailed, and
Sorry, I can only apologize. I'm trying to give
I'm
you so you
not
can read
upset.
better.
I'm trying to get back on the track, but it. Okay. What I'm getting at is, again, first off, I'm not anti-social media, but remember in the 80s or in the 90s, you guys ever go in a store counter and somebody's playing on their phone? No, because there is no phone to play with. There's right away, guess what? They perk up, they have a smile on their face, and they help you out. Nowadays, they're on their phone. You're lucky if they even look up.
That goes for everything, including marriages. It's a major destroyer in marriages here and around the world.
Well, dates, certain
Everything.
dates. What I'm saying is, it is a major distraction, and not only that. Now, I mean, what I'm saying is a lot of, I say kids. I mean, I know they're not kids anymore. Most of these people aren't kids anymore. I say kids. Anybody younger than me, I call them a kid. Um, these kids nowadays, all they really care about is go back on their phone and play their game or go on Facebook or whatever. And that's all they care about. Some just want to play their game and don't want to go to work anymore. I mean, back then, yes,
No, nobody wants to work. It said a lot of
correct,
Americans do
correct.
not want to work. They
They
said most
don't
of
want
those
to work.
federal employees during the pandemic ended up getting other online jobs and other
Oh,
things. And
that's
they're
another
saying
thing.
most of the workers, they said some of them had second jobs, and they're going to start checking their taxes to see if they filed other jobs and stuff.
And that's another thing. Yeah, I mean, there's, and I'm not hating on anybody doing their jobs, but what I'm saying is, even the ones that work at home, again, for example,
They do.
it's
Easy
not,
to get distracted.
it's still not 100% work. I mean,
Well,
even what I'm saying is, it's not your 100%. I'm not saying it's not 100% work. I'm saying it's not your 100%. A person sitting at home on their computer working does not give 100% of their undivided attention to their work. No,
yeah, kind of like
they're
us.
watching social media. They're talking to their kids. They're cooking. They're cooking for their kids
up and
and
do laundry in
whatever.
between.
Get up and do laundry. Right, but they're not actually 100% at work. I'm not hating on anybody. It's just the reality is,
Even if you have a dedicated office,
yes,
that's
correct.
kind of like
You can have a
us.
dedicated office, but guess what? If you're at home and your kids at home, you're distracted as f, no matter what you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody with kids will know. Can't argue with me. They're like, "Oh no, I have kids." No. You're. Then that means you probably like lock your kids in the basement or something if you don't pay your kids any attention while you're working. You know what I'm saying?
We just locked ours in our basement.
Yeah, but our wait, we don't have a basement.
Let's move on.
So
to,
Curtis says, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do the same thing we did the last time. We'll come back to the comments because I want to stay focused on what the live stream was about. And then go back into the comments because that's how we got derailed last week, and George almost didn't get fed for 3 days because of it. Okay, so basically the three types of vloggers and people moving here, we already said delusional, indifferent, and enlightened. We'll get to that in the discussion, but we're going to talk about, let's bring up this video. Don't, hold on a minute. We have a video here of the Sinulog Festival, which is yearly. Is that just based in Cebu?
Only in Cebu, yeah.
Okay. And there is a channel called Travel Escapes. We've seen him on and off. And he, about 3 years ago, started vlogging. I think he did some in other foreign countries. I think one was Colombia, and then he went to Southeast Asia. And then at that point, he hit the Philippines. Okay, his vlogs were getting around 2,000 views, like here and there, 1,500. As soon as he hit the Philippines, it jumped to 100,000. Okay. I don't think people are quite getting those numbers anymore that they did a few years ago because they've changed it as a pay for play. In other words, you pay the advertisement, you can push a lot of your videos. And in a manner like that, his videos took off. He just did a video that kind of struck me odd, where I'll put him possibly in the delusional category. I'll let George make his decision, but I only have screenshots and I'll tell you about what happened. But let's take a look at the Sinulog Festival here, guys.
that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead you Philippines life? I'm gonna get it all back, back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease them a lot, cause we got them on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We always could spot a friend, George and Heidi, yeah, Philippine Antics. Welcome back, and I smile when I think how you must have been, and I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome.
On there still. All right. So you can pause that a minute, please. Whoa. Okay. Sorry. That's why I said it just wasn't that. Just wasn't Cinelogue. So, all right. So here we have the travel escape. So I'll give you a little bit of background to the video. And I'm not going to play his video because he just, again. But we did take photos of where he went to the Cinelogue Festival. I think that's his girlfriend. Could be wrong. Couldn't stand to watch long enough to find out. Just being honest. Just a typical, here I am at the festival. Hey, look at me. As a matter of fact, a good portion of his video was they're chanting a porn star's name and saying that's what I look like. And he spent a whole few minutes discussing how he looked like the porn star. And I'm like, yeah, not interested, right? So, so he's going through the festival and talking about, oh, it's fun, it's fun. And it was all fun and games until he got slapped in the face several times with face paint. Let's see, go ahead and move forward on that a little bit. Okay. All right. So according to him, his face started to burn, and that's where things started to change. And like you could see the attitude coming through and that he was upset. And I call it attitude. But he was going on that, oh my God, I think they're using toxic face paint. Somebody's using the wrong type of face paint. And me and George was discussing that this morning. We were like, I don't know if they really, you were saying you didn't feel they paid attention to that stuff in the US either, correct?
Certain ones don't. Yes.
Yeah, it'd be the same here, especially here. You know, they get certain face paints or paints in the store, and they're just going to go through and buy it at a store, a sorry store, or a small mom and pop store. They're going to leave. They're not going to check on that. And so he gets it off his face and he goes through. And at this point, he's talking about, hey, I want to get out of here. But I think it was right before that. I would just let it run through. Right before that, when he couldn't find his way out, talking about, hey, it's super busy and all that, he realizes that his cell phone is gone. Okay. And he's getting extremely upset. But in the meantime, he has pointed out somebody as he's talking, you can pause in a minute, that this is the guy that I believe took my cell phone. So he's going through this whole thing about how somebody took his cell phone. Now, by the end of his video, he'll go through and say something like, well, I'm really not sure. So he made the whole thing look dramatic. And then he went in the end and said, well, you know what? I'm really not sure if they really did or didn't. I'm not saying that they did, but he was pointing somebody out the whole time, which was really crazy. He put the guy's, situation and face up there over and over again, pointed him out in the crowd. There was no real proof because in the end he was like, well, I could have just dropped my phone. And so he goes to the police to tell them that his phone was stolen and to make a report. Now, at that point, George, he did tell him to go to the tourist police. Does that sound familiar to you? That the cops would tell him to go to the tourist police?
Yeah, no. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that I mean, it's just the end of the clip.
We'll just play it through. I think there's just
Yeah.
one more.
Now that's the thing. The difference is
That's where somebody he thinks was trying to buy the cell phone. That's fine. That was the end of it.
yeah. Now there's a lot of things. Now before anybody throws in a tiffy, it's like, oh, they didn't help them. That's well, you have to put yourself put it in American standards. Think of it this way: you're watching a Metallica concert and you lost your phone, and you go to the cops. I mean, the cops are probably say, well, we can write a report for you, but you should probably go. Then they would direct you somewhere else because in reality, the probability of you just dropping your phone and losing it and somebody turning it into the part that somebody turning it into lost and found, if it's locked, it's probably high, but if it's unlocked, then no, you might as well kiss that phone goodbye. I mean, but you guys get my picture here. So whether they direct them to the tourist police or the barangay or the ones like in charge of the festival, which is the barangay. What I'm saying is, don't take offense because guess what? Even in the U.S., most of the time the cops will say, "All right, we can write a report for you," but be honest with you, we probably can't do a thing for you.
Correct. Yeah.
You have to contact these people.
Mhm.
So don't get too offensive. Oh well, only in the Philippines. No, even in the U.S. they'll do the same thing.
Yeah, and I want to let you guys know on every discussion that we have, I try to make sure that I say this could definitely happen to you in the Philippines. So all those butt hurt trolls, people, Filipinos, Americans, Europeans, whoever gets butt hurt, same thing that we talk about can happen anywhere. Because there was a group of people that were like, "Oh, you guys are only picking on Filipinas, or you guys are always picking on Filipinas." I'm like, dude, if you got butt hurt, that's just on your situation. But everything we usually discuss, we keep saying, man, this will happen in the US. So you guys ain't special. This ain't special. You guys just are in delusional, like misinformation in your own head that it doesn't happen somewhere else. Like this is 100% paradise, except for, there's a lot of other things going on here, like infrastructure wise, unemployment and these things going on. So I just wanted to state that on the side that.
Yeah.
The same thing, you go to report your phone, especially in that case. You got to put yourself and step back and say, what would I be doing in my own country? Does that really apply here? Do you understand what the rules are here in the Philippines on top of that? Because in the end, this guy turns around and he's like, well, you know what? I'm really not sure. He was hunting phones down on Facebook to see who was selling. So he puts them graphics up that I showed you, and he's like, you know what though? That wasn't the model of my phone. And then I'm like, well, then why did the guy put it up in his video if he knew that it wasn't his phone? So it was a lot of social media
Well, you have to
baha.
you have to realize too if it really
Dude is
actually
delusional.
happened.
Delusional.
Well, what I'm saying is we're not even sure because there's a lot of vloggers out there. I mean, I'm talking about expat vloggers, which is kind of sad. I say sad because they really shouldn't pull these stunts. I'm not talking about this
Content.
guy, but I have seen expat vloggers say, "Oh, I got robbed and this, and this," and I'm like, "No, you didn't."
I'm gonna let you know right now that Paul, Old Dog, and Baby May, that whole thing was a setup.
She's joking, by the way.
No, I'm not kidding, Paul. Paul bought that land and had that house and hired in them workers. It was all stage stuff. It was like Shakespeare stuff. He said all the world is a stage and he used the Philippines as a stage to stage a vlog just so he can make money to get hair extensions for Baby May.
Anyway, no, in all seriousness,
Oh, look,
again,
George smiled.
there are a lot of vloggers that say, "Oh, they broke into my house and they did this,
That
did
is
this."
true.
And
This happened a few years
and
ago.
and you're like, how do you know it's fake? Well, first off,
There was a laptop still in the
there's
house.
still a laptop still in the house. Second off, there's a generator still in the house. Thieves don't go inside, and mind you, they haven't been at the house for months, and then they all of a sudden come back to the house, and then for some strange reason they got robbed, but yet these valuables are still there.
Expensive clothes, makeup,
Wait a
all
minute.
these items were
And
still in
that
there.
wasn't even a small generator. That was a huge generator.
In my opinion, and I'm not going to say who the vlogger was, it was a bigger vlogger.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, they were scattering out because of tax issues. There
No,
was
no, no.
where they went through
They
was
left the
trying to,
house because of their running. Yes.
yes, and then they went back and tried to say that in the end they had gone back and that somebody broke into their house and they used it for content. And this does happen, guys. We
Yeah.
all are guilty at some point of covering what's going on in our life. Like when we've had power outages, we've used that or whatever's actually going on. But that is quite normal now in social media to actually put what's going on, but to create something on top of it, is just
Yeah, somebody tried to break into our house and we have scratches on our door. This is another.
well, there was
vlogger.
another. Yeah, he actually.
But and then you're like, no, if they really want to break in your house, all they have to do is take out your windows because it's real easy to do.
Yeah, there were no bars. Well, remember there were scratches on the inside of the door, and I'm like, what were they doing? Trying to scratch their way out?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys have a dog, right? Yeah, but anyway.
All right, so we have the delusional expat. All right, let's talk about the indifferent. George is going to talk about somebody indifferent as far. Yeah, tell us about the indifferent person as far as the Philippines and vloggers. That's our next one.
Okay, there.
When someone's indifferential.
Okay, there's indifferent and there's apathetic. Okay, both don't care. Apathetic just means worse. Apathy means you. It's one of those. What's the difference between the true? Indifferent means you're kind of like don't care, and
You mean like Ace Bachelor Cool?
and then apathetic would means don't give a crap. There's a difference between the two. What I'm saying is, if you're apathetic, like that person could drop dead and you could care less. Indifferent, you're like, aw, and then
You know what? I think I fall into all three of those categories because really I am somewhat that. And sometimes I am a little delusional. Well, I'm over delusional. You could ask me the first year and I've been like, oh my God, my eyeballs are sweating.
now depending on the situation, remember,
Right. Depending on my mood swing.
these are catch-22s, and what I'm saying is, okay, well,
Pablo Baby May is AI. Can't nobody be no. But anyways, just want to let you know she's a robot too.
wow, imagine that. I mean, think about it. In just in a few years, we can create our own tater tot in the future, and it could be just all AI. But anyway,
No, yeah, there's so much in the next 10 years. You guys have no idea. And they said the ones that are going to suffer is us right now. We are the test subjects. And it's going to be so crazy. Guys, the prices are going to skyrocket, everything. And then all of a sudden, in 10, 15 years, things will just level out. Strawberries will be like 20 cents. Everybody will be able to afford everything. Everybody will have health care. There'll be so much. Is it inequality or equality? Equality. I get confused by the things in my head. Excuse me, I got brain damage. Just today. But it's like crazy. But yes, it's very, very well possible. But I'm just letting you know that Paul and Baby May's ahead of their time.
yeah. Now, indifference is a catch-22 depending on the situation. You're like, okay, what do you mean by indifferent? Expats.
Well, how about the enlightened ones? That's basically the ones that have accepted what's going on. They know how things are going to be.
Oh,
They're
no. There's a difference there.
Okay, so
No. Enlightened. Okay, here's the difference. Okay, if you're going that angle.
well, yeah, we're going on to the next part of enlightened expats.
For example, here's the difference. Okay.
And let us know, guys, by the way, the expats or the vloggers that you feel are falling into any of these categories.
For example, the trash for. Okay. Let's do. Well, no, that's not relatable. Okay. For example, the trash guy. That's kind of somewhat relatable because some of you will experience this. You know, the trash guy comes by, and then you know your dog, if we should have one, your dog barks, barks his head off. The trash guy comes over and then, you know, leaves, whatever. Fine. That's his job. But here's the thing. We have scavengers. The scavengers come by, they dig through the trash, dog barks his head off, and that's something you deal with on a daily basis.
Mm.
Indifferent.
Oh boy. I'll get it going.
Here's indifferent.
Which is a lot of
That's
Filipinos,
it.
by the
You know what
way.
I'm saying?
I just heard an expat say the other day,
Right.
and I don't even like the channel, but I was just trying to dig up some dirt on him.
So,
I'm just trying to be honest.
Indifferent means you just don't care. You could care less.
He said that his Filipina is the same way. He went to go pay a bill, and his Filipina was like, we can just pay it later. I'm
Now,
not worried about the extra cost. He said,
enlightened
she just
would
said,
be, well, you know what? This is, I know it's a hassle, but you know what? He needs to make a living. I have to put up with it because he has to support his family.
So I'm all the above. So then I'm a bipolar expat.
That's the difference between enlightened and indifferent.
So then we can be all the above in one day, right? Bipolar expat.
Actually,
Yes.
this is correct. Yes.
Bipolar
Nobody-
expat. I'm gonna write that down. Bipolar expat Philippines.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's actually, yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. It's the same reason as in
A
there's
lot of them, Philip.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. We'll get to
No,
them
no, you
later.
can.
Well, we'll wait till later.
I love Filipino vloggers, but how many are
A
living-
lot. You know,
Oh,
we
no,
just
there's a lot.
realized, I guess a lot of them get butthurt when I talk about the P or they're good old sweet ladies that are online and stuff. And they can just keep on being hurt over that one because they've got to make a living. If you take away YouTube, I hope to God before all this is done, like the internet drops out for like a year while they're updating. You know, it's like, well, we got to train our AI, you know, and our machines and all that, and all of our programs and all that. We're going to be shutting the internet down for about 6 months because it's going to need all the juice and information, and we got to take everybody offline in order to do it. I'm going to be like, yes, and see how everybody survives during that time period. So in other words, if the Filipinas didn't have those type of channels and, you know, was out there getting jobs like the rest, I don't know if they would even be able to exist. I get that it's an opportunity and everything, but they really are being paid well. And then when I mentioned that they could be making this or that, there's a bunch of regular expat guys that are making a ton of money off of YouTube, but the girls really are. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. That's yeah.
Oh, you don't have anything to say about Filipinas and their money?
Well,
Yeah, you're just being passive on that one because you're a Filipino being asked that question.
well, it's not that. It's okay.
You're being indifferent.
No. Actually, no. I'm actually not. I'm actually the least indifferent. I just actually look farther beyond. But you have to remember. Okay, it's actually what was that? There was an example. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna mention her name. Okay, but there's a vlogger out there. She's a Filipina. The first word of her vlog is tita. Okay. Now tita, here's an example. This is a very good example. Okay. It could be anybody at this point. Tita means aunt. So it could be anybody at this point. Even now, the thing about tita, okay. Now talk about Sims. This is next level. Okay. I'm gonna tell you a racket. I use the word racket. Now she's a vlogger. Now Tita is in the US right now, okay? But she's Filipino. Okay, she's Filipina. Now her racket is she, she talks to the Filipinos, blah blah blah, and she says most of her vlogs are like this. Follow me, send me your Gcash phone number, and I'll say hi and throw you some love, aka money. That's it. That's her racket. Most of her content. That's her content, guys. That's her content.
So
I can't make this up.
So
I can't
then
make this up.
she's buying people's view by giving them $1 US.
Correct.
So
But guys, do the math. For every viewer that sends her, subscribes, and sends her the phone number, every view, and then she mentions these people's names in whatever.
yeah, they do it on TikTok.
They'll
too.
watch them, and guess what? She'll make more money getting those views than
Mhm.
that frigging
No, it's true, Cindy.
yeah,
Cindy.
50, or she'll send you probably a couple bucks
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. And she'll make more money on those views than anything. I'm not hating on the woman.
And I will throw, this isn't shade, this is the truth, and it's actually smart. And a lot of you are going to think I'm picking, but I'm not. Sunshine does something similar because it's not unheard of. Sunshine brings people through Facebook and adds them to a spin wheel. He does give out the money,
Right.
but he gives out 1,000 pesos to those that come
Well,
up
no,
on
no,
the
no.
wheel.
That's
But they have to subscribe,
that's a
comment.
significant amount, though. But what I'm saying is, this lady doesn't give us.
Well, still, he's still gaining views. I get the significant,
No, I
and
get
those that watch, I'm sure they're still
But
watching.
that's what I'm saying. Now, am I, like I said, now here's the difference is, again, if I'm indifferent, I could care less. But it's not that. I actually kind of give a thumbs up. I'm like, that's smart.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's kind of like, well, first off, you have to decide if you can do that or not. Me subconsciously, like I told George, I wasn't always
No,
this
no, no.
big
You
and
have
this
to be a
old.
special type of thick.
If I was back in those days and had I still couldn't see doing that. I couldn't, subconsciously it would eat me up. I mean, to take in that kind of money, because some of these girls and the vloggers that you guys are thinking about, they're making easily 10,000 US, and they'll deny it, but they're making somewhere between 5 and 10,000 a month. Some of these big Filipino vloggers here. And we're talking about some that you guys even know. And they're getting it through their PayPal, their Patreon, through stickers, through their comments. And it's like, I just couldn't imagine. But anyways, that wasn't supposed to be the topic. But yes, you're going to get all kinds of delusional, indifferent, and enlightened vloggers and visitors here. Understand that there's not going to be much different than what country you're actually living in. That is for sure. The difference is like the infrastructure will change. Now, some people come from Russia, some people come from the Ukraine or India, and for them, some of the infrastructure didn't change a whole bunch, like depending on the area they came through, or things that are going bad in the US. It's like they get here and it's like great, beautiful women, and things are cheaper, and it's like, yay. So things will change, but you have to move with the change, and it could take years to get over the difference and everything. But in the end, you will find your own peace and everything. The other topic that we did cover this week was that construction company, the kite one that did Paul with his house was the biggest one that I seen. There's a bunch of other guys that covered it. They seem to be a little bit more mad at the company on the side that were discussing it. But there was a vlogger that had 330,000 subscribers. They were building a not an apartment complex. I believe it was supposed to be a resort, but it looked like apartments. They lost 80,000. It was a Polish Filipina channel. She lost her money, and Paul, he's just going to put a fence around the house. He's no longer able to build that house. That kite construction company has his money. I would hope. I haven't watched him since that video, so maybe there were some updates if you guys know about it. But the kite group itself is a company that I guess there must have been the leader of the pack of somebody that said, hey, this company's good. Can you go ahead? Because a whole group of them followed. Now, I don't know if the rumors are saying that Paul was the originator, where like everybody started building based on Paul, and that's possible. Hell, if we'd have had the money and seen Paul building a house, there's a good chance that we might have fell into that line, babe. We would have checked. There's no way I just would have. George knows I'd have been checking something. But it turns out that the company had only been around for a few months when they all jumped on board, and it was an expat that actually was running the company. So that was the other topic this week, was dealing with construction and building and be diligent. And it turned out to be the permits. The construction company did a video where they came through and said that the guy that was doing the permits was a drug user and all kinds of stuff. So, wow, I'm sounding kind of raspy here. I've been having like asthma issues and stuff, but But that was about it. So he blamed it all on that guy, saying that all the other stuff was rumors, all these rumors of so and so suing so and so. And the guy also owes 600,000 pesos to a, not a warehouse store, but a hardware store. Who would let credit run up that high? Maybe the guy was making a monthly payment and they let the tab run up. That sounds awful generous for. Here, 1 second, guys. All right, I had to tell George a few things about who the guy was. Doesn't make any sense at all, does it?
No.
I mean, to let somebody randomly run a tab up, maybe he showed a business permit and they just fell all over themselves, but 600,000 he still owes to the warehouse. Insane. Or to the, I keep calling it a warehouse, but a
here's the thing.
hardware for the construction stuff. And now he hasn't, completed quite a few jobs.
So I assume this expat you're talking to is basically flying under a general contractor flag, right?
I don't know. All I know is he's got a website, and there's half a dozen people complaining as expat bloggers, including Paul, which is no longer mentioning him, but it's all over his Facebook.
Now, what Heidi said is not normal. First off,
Who's actually running the company?
I'm talking about like as far as in getting credit and stuff like that. That's not normal.
They wouldn't even give me 10,000 in credit to build a doghouse outside.
You can go over there right now, and they won't give you nothing. They won't give you a screwdriver.
No,
okay.
right?
Now
he must have been doing something.
The problem you face, or some of you will face, or not face, is whenever a
screw you, George.
Well, it's fact. Try it.
Right.
I
wouldn't even get credit for those bananas.
Well, remember, this is in the U.S. too. And
Yeah.
this is in the U.S. too.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody flies in under a general contractor flag, people somehow lose their crap. And they're like, okay, I can make millions if I just let this guy get credit and just scam me off my product.
I love it when you say scam.
No, this is a real thing. The problem is even in the Philippines, and this happens in the US too, by the way, again, that a lot of general contractors are unscrupulous and they will take advantage of the little guy.
That's me as a vlogger, guys.
And I hate to say this, in the Philippines, if you
basically you want to say they got what they deserve.
I wouldn't say they got what they deserve, but
you probably expect me to say it was a Filipino company that was doing it, then it might make a little bit more sense.
Not necessarily.
If it was like a cousin,
not
maybe
necessarily.
family member, like where they were giving out the credit to another Filipina family. Families are really close when the names are big in each city. So if it's like the Joneses and the Fernadas out there in the province or something, and they're all married off to each other and stuff, you would say, hey, put their credit limit at 100,000 if they're building houses or blah, blah, and supplies. But this wasn't. This was a gentleman from the...
Well, he's obviously not a gentleman.
Evidently not. And a lot of people well, where he's from doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. But I would somewhat beg to differ on...
Well, where did he come from? Largo?
No. How long we've been muted?
No, we weren't. I just hit it.
Oh, maybe it might have still been on. Did I unmute it?
Yeah.
You sure you hit that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long we've been muted, but yeah, it just depends on where they're actually from. But if it's depending on the family and all of that other stuff, I could see giving credit off to a cousin or a brother or something. So,
well, even family isn't guaranteed to pay you back, but
insane.
No. Again, that there's a lot of businesses that go under because general contractors take advantage of these people. Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna go through some of the comments. And I'll start hitting from the bottom in between. Yeah, I'm not sure how far
Yeah,
up.
here.
1
Okay.
second here. Hey, it was a.
Kate Alex says because it's easier to put blame on somebody. Correct.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always easier. Now, I believe he said this when you were talking about the, whoever was in power saying something. Hey, Lena, how you doing?
Hey, Lena.
Hey, George and Heidi, great day today. How's everyone?
You got a choice: kiss me or the dog this morning.
The dog.
Pucker up.
The dog.
The dog's been the dog's been eating her crap. So have I. I've been eating my
I'm
own
not
feces.
surprised. I'm not surprised if Heidi eats her crap.
I've been eating crap pie all
Rosalie
morning.
says must be summer and rose cap on.
Ah, jeez. Midwinter 50 all week. So, besides it, did it only snow once in Florida, by the way? The governor was talking about in Florida, hey, the weather's warming up. No, they actually said they had snow plows up north in Florida.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Be sure to anything dealing with.
Cindy G says, yeah, the poor females like me arriving, tell them to come here with me. And you too, my dear. Aww.
And Curtis, I appreciate it as far as it being not being a political channel, and it's not going to be. But unfortunately, if something is going on that's dealing with the Philippines, and technically there is a lot, and I was going to discuss today what the president, supposedly Marcos is asking to meet up with the president or will be in regards to Filipinos, how they contribute to the country, and they do. But so do a lot of the other countries where, they have migrant jobs and they build houses. And so he's going to ask the president to try to take people off the table as far as it being Filipinos, how much they contribute over there. But a lot of foreign countries contribute. I get the nursing thing and all that. There's nurses from all over the world that could be illegal over there right now. They don't have their papers in line. And but they're saying the ones that already came back recently were all dealing with they were already under Biden, so you can't even say it was the president yet. But basically the country is saying that whatever's going on over there with the illegals, it doesn't matter if they have criminal or not, they're all being sent back to countries, and that could include Philippines. And also people who are on Social Security, it could start affecting things like that and other benefits and veterans. And so politics is going to play a role on this channel. I know the other day I spoke a little bit more than I probably should have, but unfortunately, guys, you guys don't get it. We're not, and this is going to probably upset George, we're not being paid a ton to say something and not say something. The directive of this channel will not be redirected because we get one stupid email saying they don't like us talking about Filipinas, or another one saying, hey, can you stop talking about this? And I appreciate it. I really do.
Well, we mostly don't talk about Filipinos. We mostly talk about expats.
Right. But there are some nasty Filipinos and Filipinos.
There's
and nasty
people
Americans.
everywhere.
Correct. We're equal opportunity offenders, and politics is what?
Now,
maybe 10%
if you want
of our
to pick
channel?
on us, and well, go pick on somebody else. Go pick on Rafi Tufo. Go pick on, on
politics are going to be a part of it, and now it is going to be a part of it with
pick
what
on
the
Colbert,
president.
pick on Rogan.
The president is now going through on a daily basis and changing a lot, and it's too important not to talk about it if it's going to deal with us as expats here. And technically, what I've been talking about in one form or another does the air traffic control thing? Yeah, there was a pilot on board, so it came into the discussion. I can appreciate it, but this channel isn't sponsored. And until we get a sponsorship that pays us like 10,000 US dollars a month, like some of these Filipinos are making, that then maybe we can be directed in another direction. But until then, you could be working for the, what do you call that? The Philippine, not health department, the tourism board.
Oh, okay.
I love the Philippines. Dun, 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 dun. Yay, look at it here. Nothing could go wrong. Yay. Dun, 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 dun. But I appreciate it, and we understand. I mean, I'll keep that on the back burner, like not talking smack about people, but I still can't wait till that bag of oranges costs $10. What are they probably about $20 a bag? Oh, you mean you're talking about oh yeah, things are about ready to become so astronomically expensive. The next 10 years is going to be crazy. Next 5 to 10 years, you guys won't even recognize people are going to be at each other's throats. Everybody's business, your neighbor's business is going to be out there just from people vlogging, everybody's going to be trying to make money online, and you have no idea. And you guys want us to pipe down. I'm serious, babe. People are recording. I mean, everything is online. Like neighbors are recording neighbors' crap to put it on, and they're making 10, 15, 20 bucks over. Some are doing it for free just to put neighbors' businesses out. I'm waiting until they put a camera on everybody legally, where they can actually see every movement you make. The day is coming. And then next thing you know, everybody's got a social media camera on them.
No, they do.
Yeah.
That's
demolition man's a real thing.
time for the Marshall Plan to end.
There's a lot.
Tony Manning says unions hardly exist there. Depends on.
They'll be coming back.
Well, no, it's not that. Actually, no. It's either they exist or they don't. What I'm saying is, usually most of it is like up north, especially more established companies. Not necessarily little upstart companies, stuff like that. They won't have unions, but we're talking about like for example, your Chryslers. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but
that
if the
kind of deal.
president plans to give these tax breaks and tells all these countries, like you said in his press the other day, to come to America and start running your factories here, they're going to choose to go to America and run a factory versus China or Thailand or somewhere, or the Philippines. It's going to be way more expensive.
Again, I don't know.
Hiring Americans,
I'm not,
and
okay.
the union will come back at that point.
The reality is they should, again,
call centers
in
maybe.
America, they should buy American. Same thing in the Filipino, they should buy Filipinos.
Yeah, they
but
should.
That didn't sound right. We're not talking about buy Filipinos, buy Filipino products. Now, what I'm saying is, the problem you have, even in the Philippines, okay? Even in the Philippines, realistically, Filipinos can't buy Philippine products because China just produces some really cheap crap.
No, they do. My whole house is full of crap.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, in the U.S., yes, even Americans buy a lot of cheap, rebadged Chinese crap.
And that's going to be hard to redirect the people to go ahead and buy American again when they're pretty much, I wouldn't say they're going to be the same product.
In fact, Americans buy Chinese crap that they don't know they're buying Chinese crap because the box says made in the U.S. But guess what?
You need a haircut.
The box is the one made in the U.S., which makes it legal, I guess. No, I'm not making this up. There's a lot of Chinese-made products that are sold in the U.S. that says made in the U.S. because the box was made in the U.S. So I'm just saying.
Mary wants a kiss.
Yeah, and this is, well, me and Heidi were in the U.S. Put it that way.
They put names, American company name. You guys know that. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to open a factory there, and they're still going to try to import and slap their label on it.
Well, can it be done? Yes. But again, how he does it or how he chooses to do it, I don't know.
What do you got to say about that, Mary?
Hey, Joseph. Good morning, gang.
Hey, guess who's made in China?
Our says same for the party. Should be wild.
This is who else was made in China. George was made in China. We're just missing a little bit of Chinese music, aren't we?
Yeah, seemingly impossible. Yes, married for 10 years, spent 5 years in the States. Then, when expat expires, a Philippine at age 60 can collect spousal survivor. Yes, Social Security. That's correct. Silver Raven says, I'm Teamsters. Have a very good pension. Way more than Social Security. Everyone
Oh,
should
definitely.
have a union job. There you
They do.
go.
Hey, Niche.
Philip Macy says, I'm worried about the cost of avocados.
You need to go sit down somewhere.
Hey, Nietzsche. I haven't seen you in a while. Nietzsche.
Could be coming through on the other channel. They've been on the other channel. We appreciate you being there. I guess Paul Cardwell got the last laugh in his spat with Mark Thornton. Yeah. But his channel no longer exists either. So it looks like the trolls got to him, or legally he was being hunted. So, I mean, I get that. But I'm sorry. I'm going to stay silent on that one. So,
Al Rogan says, Elon Union Buster, it's over. Actually, I believe Tesla has a union.
yeah.
I believe.
Well, here's the thing. He says he's got the technology now to do those flights in 30 minutes. But I can't see. I mean, you're saying they're going to go all the way up and drop back down in an expensive rocket just to do it? I mean, what are the plane tickets going to be? 900,000 US dollars?
No, it doesn't have to be. No, it has to be a re-entry vehicle. Okay, what's a re-entry vehicle? For example, the space shuttle is a re-entry vehicle, not necessarily a rocket.
Okay, what about underwater?
No, that's slower.
Well, you could build a tunnel.
Way slower because it'd take eons to build a tunnel. But anyway.
Not if AI does it.
Anyway, point being,
they're going to be making machines in the
the
future.
only
that can
way
build
that's
quick.
possible is if he has a re-entry vehicle, because you can't go supersonic anymore because it's against international law to fly supersonic because it destroys the ozone. Anyway,
Here, 1 second. What's the
for commercial flights anyway, not fighter jets. or
what is the
bombers,
thing
whatever.
that builds the food? The
3D printers.
That's what I heard. They're going to 3D print the rest of the wall in Mexico.
Impossible.
Hi.
It's not cost effective.
That's not what Elon said, but
Okay. First off, if you believe everything what Elon says, then there's something wrong with you. I'm not talking about Heidi. I'm talking about
but he's
anybody.
sexy. He's sexy.
Elon says a lot of things that never happen.
I donated $100.
Fact.
Hey, I donated $100 of your money to his campaign.
For example, was Elon the reason why the fire was extinguished? No. Elon talks out of his butthole.
It was prisoners they let out.
Yeah. But anyway, point being,
I know. So anyways, kind of drifting here.
Cleo Craig says I'm AFA flight attendant union, and now no, this is fair. And again, you guys have to remember this is a real thing. And if that gets taken away from us, I'm quitting. It's the only thing that keeps us at our jobs. No. Again, that's the thing. It's a lot of people think most of the times people think of unions as a bad thing, but remember the union is there for the people, not the So that's what I'm saying. So I have no clue how he plans to overcome this. Anyway, Joseph says Tesla will take over the Department of Transportation. Nietzsche says Teamsters Local 572. Al Rogan says oligarchs make the rules and owns the world. Well, yeah, of course. It's always been that way. The rich will always become richer, and the poor become poorer. Katie Dallas says, I remember in the 80s when Ronald Reagan tried to get rid of the unions and got rid of cost of living wage. There you go. Curtis says, okay, now he's talking about here in the Philippines. It's nice in the province. It's nice to see kids actually playing. No, they do it a lot here.
Okay, there it is.
Most cannot afford phones. Here, obesity is rare here also. Companies, yeah, no, it's actually refreshing. Like, I remember when me and Heidi first arrived here, we're like, listen, you hear that? And we're like, what? It's kids playing. No, it's very refreshing. It really is.
Okay, so my fault. Wrong channel.
FX Trader says how many people are working at the call centers in the Philippines are going to be without a job due to it. Well,
They
they
said 20 million was the estimate this year. Yeah. Somebody had mentioned the other day about they were wanting to hire in an assistant when they got here to help them with multiple things. And somebody said that a good call center here was paying 20 to 25,000 pesos a month plus benefits. And so when those jobs disappear, that's one of the more higher paying jobs. So
Doggy Fool says, "Welcome back, Carter.
yeah.
Welcome back,
Welcome
Carter.
back.
Redo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pablo Chican, is that George and Heidi singing,
Yeah, that was
or
us.
Ricky and Heidi singing?
That
There you go.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a channel where some of the music is here, and then there's actually videos that we've made. So you should be able to look in the other channels, and it will show our other channels that has the music videos. So
Al Rogan
yes.
says Philippines 4 months for Christmas, then Sinulog, very religious place. They're blessed. That explains their attitude towards life. Dexter says, I remember getting random flights because of my
Superstitions.
interesting.
Yeah.
Joseph Ralford says, hey, I know that song.
Took or stole his lost phone. According to him, at the very end, after he made it look dramatic, he goes, I might have dropped it. And I'm like, dude, you waited to the end of your video to state it
He
might
could have
have.
dropped it. He could have bought a drink and left it on the counter.
He said it was in his front pocket on top of that.
Mhm.
And that was his mistake. And I'm thinking, how was that a mistake? Yeah, but that'd have been.
Well, if you put it in your back pocket, it will almost always fall out.
Hey, weirdo. Dad likes your hair when you look like a Wookiee. Or an Ewok or whatever you look like, Wookiee. Wookiee! Everyone puts hands on him. They all rubbed his head. One pickpocket makes entire crowd wrong. Yeah, that's what I mean is they were having fun. And he even said in the end he could have dropped it during all of that. It's very well possible that it could have. And I'm like, then why go through the full dramatics? And he even snapped photos of the person he thought did it. And I'm like, well, you just said that he did it. And so, it's just something you have to think about.
Is it possible that was his phone taken away from? Yes. And Pablo Chan says, this is actually a good point. I bet there was a team, one rubbed paint on his face while the other picked the spot. Now that's very possible, yes. As a distraction, yes. Because if somebody's touching your face, that's where your attention is. Yeah. No. So
yeah, they kept slapping him and stuff. So
yeah. So is it possible? Yes. I'm not saying, but again,
which is a lesson to be
even
learned.
if it was taken from him without his knowledge, again, even in the U.S., the cops can't do a thing.
It's just you want to be aware. And now, for the most part, I don't think a lot of our people will be in a situation like that. Like our average viewer is 45 to 75. Shows most of you guys fall in that 50 to 70 range. So I'm not going to be in a crowd like that because he decided to go partying after the festival and stuff and got caught up in all that. And I don't think a lot of our people will be involved.
Well, that's the point. Yes, as Al Rogan says, I will attend to New Law.
There it is.
With the old people in the daylight, it gets crazy at night. No, yes, exactly.
And it could happen to you in the daytime too. We get where the kids will walk up and George goes, "Don't let a bunch of them hang on you." And they do. They'll walk up.
Don't let them touch
say,
you.
Hey,
The moment they touch you,
that's it.
Walk away. Walk away as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Do not let anybody in the Philippines touch you.
little kids here can look
Mhm.
innocent and they've got little gangs. And I'm not saying it's all of them. It would happen in the United States. I'm not letting a bunch of little kids. Oh, that almost didn't sound right. I was going to say,
Yeah, the moment
oh no,
people who
one
ask
said,
for
hey, put their
alms or
hands on me.
anything from you, the moment they touch you, that's a sign that they're gonna take something from you without their knowledge.
Hold on here.
It is.
I almost used inappropriate words. Hey, Scott, what's
Hey
going on?
Scott, and we already read your comment, Philip. Philip and Isa, hi George and Heidi.
Hey, what is going on?
Al Rogan, George, how many days do they celebrate Easter? 1 month.
Hey, Pee Wee Barnes.
It takes them 1 month, and there's a pabasa, as they say. Pabasa is when they start basically praying nonstop for a month that Heidi really loves.
Okay, FX Trader. I believe you said this before, and it's your first and only warning. He's mentioning smart girls, and I believe he's the one that mentioned them the last time. We're not going to discuss smart girls. Are you actually? I mean, I know you've been in here before, and I know we've had, where you've been in here, but we're not going to discuss smart girls again. I've said my opinion on smart girls. It's being run by another expat. We have an idea who the one or two expats are, and it's not a real channel. That's all I'll say
Yeah.
on that.
World Philippines, I disagree, and I'll tell you why. World Difference says, "Yay for least indifference. The opposite of love isn't always hate. You'd rather be hated than somebody being indifferent towards you, because if they're indifferent towards you, they don't give a crap. If somebody hates you, that means they care about you so
Yes.
much that they hate you.
That's me and George sometimes on a daily basis, man.
So I would rather have somebody hate me than be indifferent towards me, because that means they don't. If somebody's indifferent towards me, they could care less if I die tomorrow or not. You know what I'm saying? No, really, this is a real thing. I mean, I'm not making this up. It's kind of like,
Bring up the Ike and Tina Turner thing, man. You could tell that's what was going on, was love and hate, and then they even wrote songs about it. That means they still
Mhm.
really cared about each other.
It's kind of like if somebody hates you, they think about you. But
Ooh,
if
that's true.
if they indifferent towards you, they don't even. You're not even there.
That's why we love our
You
trolls
don't
so much.
exist.
Anybody
saying?
who makes videos about us, anybody who says anything, we know they care.
Right, because hatred is an emotion. Indifferent is lack of emotion.
And we know you're feeling it.
Correct. So I'd rather be hated than be indifferent towards that.
Yeah,
Yes.
because if they was this indifferent, they would just disappear now,
Yeah.
wouldn't they?
Remember that in a relationship, guys and girls, because if the moment your partner is indifferent towards you, it's done.
Well, how do you know it's really indifferent? Just they just stop talking all the way? Or you're not going to feed me all that good information right now? So as long as you know I'm mad and I'm not cooking your dinner, then you know I still love, or is that the indifferent part?
No, you can tell. Okay, if there's love and hatred, you can tell just the way they look at you, just the way they react, just how they, it's always love and hatred are somewhat extreme emotions. They're on a little
Almost
up there. You know what I'm saying? So there's always a telltale sign. Indifferent, there's nothing.
Yeah, just be.
You have to be empathically inept not to know. Anyway,
kind of like your school teacher. They're kind of like indifferent as they're teaching the class. They really can't love or hate you.
Well, kind of like
and so they have no feelings about you whatsoever. So
it's
you
kind of like
can't-
Mr. Stein. Mr. Stein, Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller. That's indifferent, right? Anyway.
You know who was indifferent?
What?
Every man has a story. Mark Thornton.
He's not. He's not.
He didn't love nobody. He didn't hate nobody.
I would love.
He's
to
like
say,
that Ferris Bueller.
I would
teacher.
love to say he is, but he's not. He's actually.
You could tell he cared.
He cares a lot. He just doesn't show it. No. Yeah, no. I know it. To some of you, he may seem that kind of person, but he's not. The fact that
So,
he has all his ducks in a row tells
so that he
you
cared,
he's
yeah.
not correct.
Yeah, he
No.
just didn't do anything. But I don't know. What about the devil? Where you think he is at? Delusional, indifferent?
Devil? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
You know,
Are you,
like the devil went.
are you talking about Lucifer?
The devil went down to George. He was looking for. Yeah.
No, he's not indifferent.
Let's not get into religion either. Not today.
Yeah. No, he's not indifferent. He's the complete opposite. But anyway, yeah.
How about the puppies?
Don't let me get started with Lucifer. That's a completely different story altogether. Anyway.
Yeah, we don't want to get into religion. By
Yeah.
the way, nobody said anything about my Chinese New Year and Lunar Year. It's like the year of the
What do you mean?
the year of the wood.
Huh?
It is the snake, but they said it's the wood year. Hey George, it's the year of the wood.
Anyway.
That's true. Nobody said Happy Lunar New Year to me or nothing. But we don't want to get into religion
You're not
today.
Chinese.
I have to be Chinese to be into Chinese food and Chinese horoscopes and all this other stuff.
Anyway, yeah, you're not Chinese. Jose Rodriguez says, I like sunshine, but just seen a video he did, and it was cringe. If you have to tell a group of guys to behave, act right, then let them know it's obviously a problem.
Oh, you talking about the video where he was in there talking about a man who lasts more than 3 minutes is cringe? He said that a man that lasts more than 3 minutes, it makes a Filipina feel like she's not doing her job. I've been telling George that for years.
Oh, the stories I could tell you. Anyway.
But it would make, on the other hand, I was watching that live and I'm like, yeah, it would kind of make a woman feel that if you couldn't finish a man off in, say, 45 minutes, that you was doing something wrong. Like, oh, well, if I had to look at Heidi, it would take 45 minutes. No, this bee here fights like all get out. That doesn't mean that he's indifferent.
I know, 45 minutes, that means I'm working hard already at that point.
It means you're just holding out like it's a circus ride.
No, I can last longer, but way longer.
You ought to be on Sunshine Show.
There's only one person who ever complained about the duration, but anyway.
I only want to sweat for like 30 minutes. Anything beyond that is a workout, and I ain't trying to do no workout.
They don't call me the Energizer Bunny for nothing.
Well, I get that, but that's not what Sunshine said.
That didn't sound right, but okay.
We say cringe things. He says cringe things.
James says, supposedly, according to Paul, the company had built houses in the area.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Maybe I ought to rename the puppy to Cringe. I like that. Cringe.
Al says, that guy is a good talker. Everybody gave him money. Well, most most of those guys that pull a fast one are usually good talkers. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the guy? No, he has several contracts. There's a whole group of them. The houses are incomplete, but there should have been some point. See, it would have never got by on me and George. It'd have probably got by on George for a little bit. But if a few months went by and I didn't see the concrete laid, I'd have been down there busting the chops of every worker, whether they were Filipino or American. George knows that. So I'd been like, hey. And I get if you bust people's chops, they say less work gets done. But the squeaky wheel does get greased at some point. I mean, his house was supposed to be near complete at some point, and it's not. That's where... And as I'm to understand, he went down there and did some of his own permit work. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's where things would have totally like left, been somewhere else. Like the burrs.
Paul says it's quite normal if the guy is a regular customer, they let him get products and then pay when they come back. So that workers get products. I mean, not really. Even real professionals, they usually pay. The most common thing is, you guys know what a PO is? A purchase order. If it's a legitimate business, most of the time they have purchase orders, and that's how it's done. They just don't randomly get stuff from the store and then
Rub your stuff.
Put it on the tab. You know what I'm saying? No, Even real companies, actually, real companies have purchase orders because everything has to be tracked.
George was sitting outside with the cats 2 days ago, and he was getting bit by. I think you also got bit by them teeny tiny ants. They're all over the flower bed, so it could be.
Well, this one's an ant. This one's an
Okay,
ant.
I think the rest of them.
I know this one's an ant
This
because
this isn't flea. That's ant.
huh?
These are all ant bites
Oh.
and things. So I think you got
No,
There's-
these are fleas, babe.
no. That's ant.
No,
That's
these are fleas.
babe. I know what ant. I believe me. We have these teeny tiny, almost ghost-like ants you can barely see, and I know George ain't seeing them. I'm sorry. So he's been like itching, and I can see the bites all over you, but he's out there sitting on the ground petting the cats. We got a pregnant one that's out there that looks like Bella, and I want to bring her in so bad. And I'm like, no, we don't want to end up with 5 additional kittens. So she sleeps outside with Willie, and when he's out there petting the pets that go by and everything, he's been getting eaten up, and he's got bites everywhere. He's been sleeping in the doghouse. That's what's really going on.
Yeah. Timothy Rogers says, "Good morning, Heidi and George from Columbus, Ohio."
Hey, what's going on, Buckeye? With World Zoom, who knows? All I know is that if I was him and all of his stuff wasn't completed, or he was having problems, or I just would have stayed offline. And others might even say that's the same with us, but we're not doing anything illegal. There's nothing. Although he wasn't either, supposedly there were still other issues, according to other sources and online sources, and that he might have had some tax issues in the US. Who's to say? These are all just different things that are out there. I would have stayed offline. And evidently, whether it was the trolls of Mark Thornton or other trolls or other people or the government, he was online, and it could be why he folded the channel. And he could have had his channel reported. Who knows? There's multiple things why his channel could have disappeared. So, and he might have had to go and get a job.
Well, there's also, from what I've heard, I believe, before he shut off his channel, he talked about like being woke up in the middle of the night and having a ghost cruise ship come visit him.
Too soon. Did it have Thornton and his widow on there? And did it have baby Rogan staring him down?
Oh dang! They're live. Why would they be there?
Somebody's got to ride that cruise ship.
Anyway, Curtis says the Filipinos who are mad about Filipinos being sent back are the same ones who celebrate when overstay expat gets expelled.
True.
No. I agree with this. It's a mindset.
It is, and there's like a whole, and they're talking about that in all chat rooms, all channels over in the United States and the newspapers, and you'll see the whole uproar. And they've been saying, the guy at the embassy in the United States said, if you guys are here without the proper paperwork, go home. They warned for months, and the last 6 months of the presidency, didn't they?
Yeah, no, it's a certain mindset.
home.
No, I agree.
And everybody is on the chopping block. Now everybody's freaked out. Well, I thought you were only going to go for criminals. And my wife got arrested and so. They said now they're concerned that they're going into the schools and they're taking 14-year-old kids out of school. And they said, you do realize that these kids and these memberships that they've got over there, the gangs, they start at like 13 years old. They said you cannot not put anybody without their paperwork, kids or not, are going to be sent back. And that includes all countries. And I didn't feel anything but OMG when the president here made that statement that, oh, well, now I've got to renegotiate with Trump over this federal aid. And while I'm there, I'm going to say something about how our Filipinas have filled the void of jobs over there and doing jobs over there in the United States. And I'm like, so is everybody else. A lot of the foreign countries are over there filling in a lot of the jobs. That's where the illegals, the house cleaning, the everywhere. A lot of companies hire them in to do the work and the fruits and vegetables and the farms and the buildings. And this is where I have to say, not special. You guys can get offended all you want. They're just foreigners.
Joe Pa says, my desire to move to the Philippines has a lot to do with the political divide of the USA. It's exhausting.
And now that they've brought in the president, and now he's going to start cutting programs, unless you're the uber rich over there, and then you have to be a major working class. They're saying the only thing that I think is really cool is those that are working that couldn't qualify for benefits that needed help for, say, 6 months, they will get that boost. But all the ones that have been sitting on benefits for years, they're everything, the HUD, the housing, all of that, they're going to start cutting them, but they've been on it for years. Sometimes they're 2 generations in that have been on benefits. What you over there perpetrating there, son?
Well, just real quick. Aussie Steve says, hi guys from Melbourne, Australia. Tropical
Hey.
weather here today, 31 degrees centigrade. Black,
Ooh.
I don't agree with this one. Black Grandpa says, America is already bankrupt.
Yep.
And we never have to pay their debts. If they lose the status of world currency, hyperinflation will follow. But no, I disagree. That's
Nobody pays back.
every country has a deficit, so I
Mhm.
get it. And I get the deficits in trillions. I get it, but it's not bankrupt. No, there's a difference. Bankrupt is when, like, for example, the Soviet Union, did it go bankrupt? Yes, and that's why there's a big giant divide, and that's why the economy tanked. China's next.
They
Um,
real quick, they said that when the federal aid gets cut off and they're reevaluating for the next 90 days, they said that's when Russia and China will grow. They're going to start reaching out to the other countries. And
yeah,
that's going to cause an issue.
when Social Security disappears, So no, I disagree. I don't like disagreeing with our subscribers, but I disagree because one, again, obviously, federal aid still exists. Foreign aid still exists, even though Trump doesn't like to, help.
Well, the foreign aid, all that's getting
No, I get it, but it's still there.
federal.
But what I'm
funds.
saying is, well, you can't argue Social Security is still there. Point is,
That's a whole separate program. They set the money
Point is,
aside, and that's a
if-
whole different account. They
if
definitely can't.
America
That's
is
a little
bankrupt.
different. Yeah,
That's my point. If America's bankrupt, that will get cut off no matter what.
it's all coming. That's what I'm saying. They're claiming they're going to be reinvesting in the crypto
Okay,
and
well,
the coins and all
that-
this stuff. But anyways, that's
no,
getting deeper into.
I get it, but I'm just saying now, he didn't say that America will be bankrupt. He says America's bankrupt. No, it's not.
Yeah, they just need to restructure, and when they do, they're going to hurt a lot of people.
That's what he's doing right now. He's restructuring, cutting down foreign aid, that kind of stuff,
I'm just curious where he's going to put all the money, though. When he starts
doesn't-
saving,
he doesn't have to put the money.
just bring down the deficit.
Correct. Yeah, but anyway, again, that's
Well,
T-Bone. Hey, T-Bone.
Hey.
Al Rogan says Elon built his Tesla factory in China.
right.
Hypocrite. There you
Yeah.
go.
But
I'm
he's
so
cute,
curious
though.
about Musk coming here, and
Yeah, they are saying that he's.
I don't care much for the guy.
But they said they're all coming to move here.
He's full of wind, and again,
Elon,
Yeah,
he's my man.
I don't
If
hate the
George
guy,
can't do it,
but I really don't
Elon
care
can.
for the guy. I really don't care, but because again, everything he says, he just says stuff just because. Anyway.
You guys like the Filipino P. I like Elon. Dream
Black
on,
Grandpa says
bitches.
manufacturing is dead in America and will never come back because of other countries already doing it rock bottom. Well, see, that's what he's up against. Yes.
I mean, here's the thing, right? You guys, let's just say you guys have got like those portable canes that fold up or whatever, and they're being made over in China right now for like 20 cents. They sell them for like $15 at Walgreens. If they start making those canes, you're going to be paying $49.99 for that same metal cane. that they just brought in from China, probably the same quality. Because at first you'll see them making America great again quality. First off, you got to get those workers in there. You got a whole new generation. The ones that really wanted to put the work in would have been our generation, correct? People in their 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s. Those are the people that could really put some work in. You got to disrupt these kids to get off their phone that are playing video games, have been working at home doing this TikTok stuff to make $1,000, $2,000 a month situation to go work in those factories. Good luck in your $50 cane.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Cindy G says, especially now being buddies with Trump, right? Exactly. She's talking about Elon.
Hey babe, dude, show me your
Huh? What's that?
the TikTokers that you've been watching. Show me what the TikTokers, what they look like on TikTok.
What do you mean? You're talking about?
Well, the other one, where they do.
I don't know anything about that. I stopped watching TikTok a long time ago.
Me and the cat watch it every day.
Exactly. Anyway.
Hey, I got to get my smut and smack from somewhere. They
Yeah.
call me drama mama and puppet here. From what?
Yeah. Anyway, Pee Wee says, "Good
Yeah,
morning,
okay.
Heidi and George. It's hard to find my size here, so I go to American outlets at Harbor Point. I don't have anything against bench, but
Maldita, etc. But they don't have
size.
U.S. sizes. Here in the Philippines, they do. I'm just lucky that I brought a bunch of clothes, and I hate to say it, there's nothing wrong with a personal tailor. And people are like, oh my God, she's that big, she's got to get a personal tailor. No, it's cheap here. So if you buy the material, I've only done it. We did those 3 outfits because the material, I didn't realize how hot it was going to be here. So I had a lot of thick material clothes. And this material that I have here is super thin. But I bought this in the US. What was these? About $90 for these dresses. We were buying these dresses before we left at $90 US. And it was, I forgot what company it was. But anything over a size 2 or 3X that's at Walmart, which I could still wear, these companies were just getting astronomical, and it was still an import on top of that. And they were charging $90 a dress. Here, I can get one done for like $5, $10 made. So you guys have no idea, but that's what I would do. But you can still find them. I still get some clothes through Lazada, yes. Yeah.
World Philippines tunnel would get a bit toasty through the core.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just real quick. I'm not here to argue. Sonic booms don't damage the ozone, depending on the altitude. And yes, it just, again. Anyway.
Time to go back and AI it.
Cindy says, so George, you don't think Elon's coming here then? Okay. Well, I hope not. What's he gonna do here? I mean, I guess to vacation, I guess.
And that's right, Jazzy. Any younger viewers get a pension job, you can't really survive on Social Security. You're going to have to start saving, but I don't think it's going to matter in the end. Yes, you can, but if I was you guys that are young right now, you guys are screwed. I would just put that in your pocket and stick with it right now. You're going to have to wait for the point where it's easier to get jobs and you can get paid higher jobs later. And all you can do is just go with the flow right now.
Yeah, Cindy G says another ad during your live.
Yeah, it's going to be ads.
Al Rogan says never. I have not seen children playing outside. It's weird. Twilight Zone. Hugh Barnes says you're right. Play. It's totally like Twilight Zone when we were kids. Delivered newspapers, played baseball, go camping. Right, exactly. And then camping was camping. It wasn't this glamping crap.
Not the glamping, and then the situation where it's expensive. What was we paying for the campgrounds in Florida when we went? It didn't even, there was like where you could get like a disabled discount, and I still think it was $30 or $40 a night at a state park.
Yeah, that's still glamping in my book.
Well, that is true.
I mean, when I camp in the U.S., I actually camp, like go in the woods, kind of
Bear
camp.
Grylls.
Better than Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls like stayed in freaking hotels.
Well, they're talking about most of those shows. Somebody just exposed a
No, I'm
bunch of
really
them. They
hurt.
have
I was
deliveries done to
I was a
those
big
survival
Bear
shows.
Grylls fan. No,
hmm
that guy stayed in world class hotels.
No, yeah. No, they're saying a lot of those survival shows, they got food delivered
He
nearby.
was the biggest fraud
and They
ever,
didn't
and
really.
I was a
All
big
those
fan.
shows.
But
Hate to
anyway,
bust your guys' chops. Reality TV is not so reality. Oh, my hair. Look at that. I comb my hair several times, but it's just so
YouTube experience
humidity.
that some stores in the U.S. tried self-checkout cash registers, decided it didn't work, removed them. Hope it's true, but who knows?
Yeah, the reason that did is because there were so many people stealing. So basically, they were taking tags. That's all over YouTube too. Is that they just caught a YouTuber living in a huge house, living this glam life, and she really did have it. They try to say the rich will only show the good stuff and don't show how things are bad. And you rarely see poor people. You see a whole wide range of them people showing themselves poor and rich. But this girl had money. She was caught not scanning the tags and changing tags and got caught doing it on her YouTube video. They arrested her, took her channel and everything else. Big channel, like huge channel. They always find a way to ruin the system. And that's what they were doing, was switching tags to cheaper products. And she was showing how she would get a haul for X amount of money, and she got caught doing it on camera, and she
Theoretically, that's stuff.
she didn't think it was.
Theoretically, it is
Well,
stuff.
of course it is. You're changing.
It's not stealing, but you're
not paying full price like you're
correct.
supposed to. It's still theft.
Yeah.
And some people they're not scanning at all. So they'll take the same $1 item and they'll scan through and got caught. So it's all over the internet. But it's eventually coming, because they're going to stop all this stuff of the last few years. Like even here, they have where you can order your McDonald's at the kiosk part on the outside. Eventually, all of that will be automated through EI. You guys seen EI? You know what that is? It's Elon intelligence coming out.
Oh, Jesus.
Me and him have been talking about that on the phone.
Hmm.
When you're out gallivanting around, me and Elon talk. So AI is going to be changing everything, or EI. It's coming.
Black Grandpa indifference is how Trump feels about illegal immigrants.
There it is.
Illegal Mexican immigrants. Oddly specific. World Philippine says Mark Thorne was a documentarist. And
Ah, snap.
Pee Wee Barnes says you're right, George, but hate and indifference is hard to distinguish.
Right.
Since I moved here, my relatives stopped emailing and messaging. I can tell if it's hate or indifference.
I hear you, sweetie. That's something you're going to miss your family, but I'm going to tell you what, a lot of my family did not talk to me for quite some time. Children, everything. They were really mad. So I still get a lot of them that are hardly talking, but I wasn't going to change my mind, and it's up to you guys to go. But if you give them half the chance, they talk you out of it. But it's like, how's it working for you now in the U.S.? So, yeah.
Yeah, now this is true. Philip Macy says Mark Thorne hated doing live streams.
Yes.
He was caught heavily sighing. He does this all the time.
Yes, he does.
When signing off, he just did it for the money. I agree.
Yeah.
He was indifferent at best.
You know who's indifferent? That British expat guy is over the Americans. He's just so indifferent on anybody that's. Hey, what do you
see
doing,
her Energizer bunny. There you go.
Look at her, babe. She's outgrown her bed already. We got to stop feeding you that extra toast in the morning. Yeah. Dad picked you up this morning and said you were getting heavy.
No, Jazzy Pablo. It's not a purchase. I wasn't talking about credit. I'm talking about purchase orders. Purchase orders are specific. And again, what's a purchase order? Purchase order is either the whole shebang or a little bit of stuff, but in one purchase order. A purchase order is not a line of credit. No. So I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying here. What I'm saying, most legitimate companies, especially general contractors, have purchase orders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you're giving even credit, they still have purchase orders.
And that's quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
I'm just not understanding that. Just some of that doesn't make any sense. At the same time, could that amount not been real? I mean, I don't understand who would let they must have really believed in that company or had somebody backing him.
Anton says, good morning from Davao City, guys. Ted Denkin says, it probably has a court order. He can't have a channel. Interesting. That's a very interesting theory.
And that is true. That could very well be true.
Yeah.
Remember, I do want to let you know that during that whole thing.
We're talking about World Zoom, guys.
Here is one thing that I was thinking about World Zoom. He was a real dumbass for showing the inside of the jail of the Philippines. He was showing, because they allow where they were holding him at the detention center, he had his phone. He was taking photos of where he was sleeping. He took videos inside and outside. And as soon as he got back to the U.S., he's showing all this. And he's actually crashing all over the U.S. government, or the Philippine government, about how things were and how they handled things. And he's like, oh, well, so-and-so was okay. And the people inside were okay. But I think a lot of that has something to do with his channel disappearing. I know others would like to take credit as because of what Mark Thornton did or the trolls did. I don't put no stock in those people, all the troll crap and all that. I believe the government and his own legal issues is what took the channel down. He probably turned it off, but it could be an order against what he said. Very well could have been something.
Yeah. Tony Manning says illegal is illegal. Ship him back. Sean says Social Security won't go away. The American people won't say. No, I'm not saying it is. All I'm saying is if America was bankrupt, because Social Security won't exist anymore.
Now, let me tell you who's pretty close to bankrupt, and you guys can be all up and roar. It was just in the newspaper again from the own Philippine people that the Philippine government is on the verge of going down. So just trying to fair warn you guys right now. It was announced in several newspapers that with the aid that's been helping, they're saying the other U.S. contractors that are here that are running those programs are borrowing and the money being used for the military. And they're saying there's misappropriation of funds going on right now. They're saying that the country's already in major debt, but they're on the verge of really going into the red. And they say that 60% here consider themselves in poverty. And I'm like, who the hell's driving that new car up the street? So I guess they're in debt too.
Yeah. Al Rogan says create a vacuum. Something will fill it, good or bad.
Yeah.
Pee Barnes says, I agree, George, but how can Trump fund the government and social programs with no federal income tax? Is he replacing taxes with tariffs? Ted says, partially a 2.5 tariff across the board plus other measures.
Here's the thing. That's something that I have to agree with. I told you guys the other day that I've been on those programs. I've been on many of those programs, but they were very short-lived, a few months at a time. The program was meant to be short-term, 6 months, 7 months, maybe a year. And at that time, you had to be working, and I was working. So for these people that aren't working at all, that are getting food stamps, assistance, they're getting Social Security for their disabled kids, and they're all living in one household getting all benefits. Those are the people he's talking about cutting off. And they're saying already that the federal aid that's on hold throughout the world is going to affect all families, including all these programs being cut. Talking about somebody being indifferent. That's where he would be indifferent. He's just he doesn't love or hate. That would be an indifferent situation, correct? I'm just feeling indifferent about, he's just going to do it. He's got to do what he's got. You got to be indifferent as the president.
Well, there's this old saying, nothing should stick.
He ain't letting nothing stick, is he? But no, it's just crazy.
Victor C says Super Bowl countdown, 9 days. Amazing.
That's just random.
Well, not.
No, I'm talking about Rose Lee. Geo just ignores you. That is like, hey, Geo, is that you?
Yeah, they're for the View prediction, fires and flooding in 2025.
Unless that means something else.
Tony Man says, my ideal camping is staying at the Hamptons. There you go.
Right?
Well, considering
Because
the
who
state
needs a
of the
haircut?
Hamptons nowadays, I guess you can call that
Too many
Hampton. I mean, you can
crickets,
call that
guys.
camping.
Both me and the dog needs a haircut.
I mean, back then the Hamptons was like
Nice.
nice. Now it's rough.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
I was just slumming it out there with Snoop Dogg and Martha out there in the Hamptons last week.
Yeah.
Will you take me to the groomer too?
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Will Smith. I hate self checkouts. Right.
I know it's a shame to say with all this hair situation, but I really have too much hair.
I hate self checkouts. If I wanted to work in a supermarket, I'd apply. The way big corporations have turned us into unpaid interns in order to make themselves even richer is gross. Unpaid interns. I like that one. Right. Self checkout. Yeah.
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 Cindy.
Cindy G says, "Thanks for sharing, Heidi. I still cry over how many just stop speaking to me. Go see my Facebook messages. It hurts."
Yeah, George can attest quite a bit of my family members did. And some are talking now, but you know what? Truthfully, I think a lot of people can say a lot of people aren't close with their families in the US. Some aren't even close here. They say how much family sticks together here. I get it. It's the same back in the US. And our family, the funny thing is, like George said, when we were in town, people came to visit once a year for me and my dad because I had been taking care of my parents and I had my own apartment. And so it's like, then you go and leave and you got your own life going on, and then all of a sudden they miss you when you're gone situation and they're just mad, and then it just kind of goes like that. But I'm blessed now because my life has been back in order for a while. So, time heals all wounds.
Yeah.
At least I think it does.
Albergan says purchase order is a corporate authorization to purchase. Both companies should keep a copy. Yeah, no. And again, that's how it is. Stephen Hopper, I love your content, live stream videos, and what you two discuss. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on? And again, a big shout out to the other channel for those if they're watching. It's a dual stream on Expat-Tainment, better known as Drama Mama. Maybe we can just do both names in there. We can call you Papa Smurf because I've been watching that show, Animal Kingdom, which is on Netflix. That's been my new jams here lately. George is like, you watching it again? They call her Smurf. So, and when I grew up, the Smurfs, my mother collected everything Smurfs. Like the whole house was full of it. So it's really weird for me. And then that's why I just called you Papa Smurf.
Oh. Rob Morrison says, hello, George and Heidi, Antics Squad from
Hi.
Calgary. See you in the Philippines in 3 weeks. Awesome.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Now, Will Smith, just real quick. Actually, I was going to say this earlier, but since you brought it up, I'll mention it now. Will Smith says, I'm not actually talking about what you're about to say. I'm in an economist background. We pay the tariffs. I can't believe people still aren't getting this.
No, that's true.
Yes and no. Yes and no. The reason why yes and no. Okay.
Yes, the people will pay the tariffs.
Eventually. If the prices aren't already set, which most of them already are. For example, like
I mean, it will down the road. You're talking about like for a few months worth of the orders that are coming in are already prepaid,
Correct.
shipping and
Correct.
building. But here's the thing. I don't think people are thinking about the other side because, for instance, if they didn't make good with Colombia, most of the roses now will affect the following months and coming in. Most of the roses in the U.S. Okay, you guys say, oh, big deal, it's roses. Bull crap when you ain't dropping your lady roses and they cost you $56 for 2 roses. Don't bitch, right? But what's going to happen is when you're unwilling to pay $56 for 2 roses to give your lady and she's looking at you like this, like, I better pay the $56. Yeah. You're going to only buy 2 roses instead of 12. Guess who also gets affected by that? Colombia, because they're not going to sell as many. You don't have to cry over that.
Well, actually,
you get all excited about Valentine's Day. Give me some sugar. Huh? Give me some sugar.
What sugar?
Give me some sugar like you ain't got a girlfriend on the outside. Are you afraid to let your girlfriend see you kiss
all right.
me on here?
Yes, of course. All right. Now, here's the, okay, I'm not arguing with you, Will, but like I said, yes, some of these orders have already been they already have this prices already promised, yada yada. If you're an economist, then you should know what I'm talking about. Again, basically the ones that are on their way.
Oh, there you are.
Some of them I would say probably 50% may. Now it means that they'll jack up the price on us, but that's not the real problem. The real problem is the manufacturing companies outside the country won't want to deal with the tariffs, and in the ones that do decide to deal with the tariffs, they have to downgrade. And what I'm saying is, it means lesser grade products for America. Why? Because the higher the cost of the product, the higher the tariff. So one way to combat this is actually to lower the grade of the product, lower the quality.
Is that what's going on here in the Philippines on certain products?
Well, we're okay. There's A grade, B grade, C grade. We're on the C grade. America is on A grade, A and B grade. For those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about,
you'll know when you get
guys
here.
You guys know what Harbor Freight is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically your C grade products. Okay.
Yeah, that's how come I'm getting a large cooker that cost me $150 in the U.S. When we got here, they sell the exact same one, and it costs us $20 to replace it. The problem is, only lasts about a year or so.
Right. So what's going to happen is the ones that do want to keep dealing with the tariffs will lower their grade in order to overcome the tariffs.
It's going to affect everybody.
And that's in the long run. That's what's going to happen. It's not. There's not. Okay.
So you're saying we can get $56 for one rose, but it could be a lower grade down the road.
Basically, it means
for $24.
Basically, it means eventually we really are getting better products in the end if this keeps up here in the Philippines.
I'm going to go with Plan C. You guys are looking at World War III coming up. They say we pretty close. They say we had like 60% of all this going on. So, anyways, that's beside the point. They
always say that.
They've been, what you talking about, Willis? Now more than ever.
They've been saying World War III since.
Yeah, but back then it was like 20%. Now they're at like a 60% deal.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the clock moving forward? I discussed that on a previous live stream. They're saying the doomsday clock back in World War II was 10 minutes till or 15 minutes till midnight. They're saying now it's literally 30 seconds to midnight. Another theory, not really. Okay.
It's not. No. Anyway.
All right. I'm just going to keep on being negative drama mama here. George is a serious optimistic.
No, actually, I am, but that's not the reason why.
I know, babe. I'm just.
It's kind of like this. There's a reason why China's flexing, and there's a reason why Russia's doing why they're doing it to Ukraine like they're doing. Yeah. So anyway, this is not the channel to discuss that kind of deal, but anyway.
Okay.
Tony Manning says I usually just buy a dozen and give one to my girlfriend, one rose each.
So he's got a dozen girlfriends. They're going to cost you about $192.
Says George is really afraid to let his real girlfriend see Heidi kiss him.
That's probably his real girlfriend there. Is that your girlfriend there, George?
Oh, God damn. Wow, Ted. Willie isn't jealous. You ain't right. You just ain't right.
Right.
Get it?
George, you got another girlfriend?
Yeah, Willie.
No. You got a real girlfriend, George? Out there?
One every hour.
I will pay good money to any expat or Filipino that can catch me a photo of George when he's out horsing around.
Oh, geez. Now you're going to have a flood of photos now.
Right. Well.
Michael Taylor says,
I'm just going to.
You know what's really messed up? You're probably going to get a bunch of photos of different Filipinos with different girls.
That look like you.
Probably not even, because they can't tell most Filipinos apart.
I can't. I lose you in a crowd still. Anyway. If you didn't look so Chinese, then I can find you.
Oh, great! That way. Now you're gonna see a bunch of Chinese guys with a bunch.
No, I'm probably gonna end up with a bunch of D pics. True stories. Like here he is, and then I'm gonna send him to you.
Michael Taylor says, "Oh yes, yes. Um, all the debt is crap. Every country is in debt. Correct. No, no one is paying anyone. It's just rich screwing poor. There you go.
You
Tariff is
guys
done
can be
correctly.
you guys can be
Are
however you
great
are.
tariffs when done wrong, like in the Philippines, they are done
Do
wrong.
you think this tariff thing is smoke and mirrors right now? There's too much being emphasized on the tariffs and the border. There's something else coming. You don't get this weird feeling of smoke and mirrors. Give me a break on the tariffs and immigration. You don't think there's something down and dirty going on in between, or that's a whole different. Remember, you told me about that. Who taught me that? When you're not looking. Remember, I told you I should have woke George up the other day when he was sitting here sleeping. I said, I'm sure. And what you talking about? Sunshine Shoulder sits around and talks about politics and football and all that. How about we talk about football right now? That's this. This is a live stream. So, anyways, let's talk about what we're talking about. Do you think any of this smoke and mirror stuff is dealing any of this stuff going on? What's going on is he's probably putting a couple of them bitcoins in his own pocket while you bullshitting.
Ooh.
President. He's selling Bitcoin and all that. Have you heard that? He's got his own coin he's selling.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Never mind. There's no clean politicians. But anyways, there's smoke and mirrors going on about something else.
Well, okay.
It can't be this simple. If I'm following politics right now, something's wrong.
Anyway, I just don't want people to misconstrue what we're saying, and you have to remember too. Now, this is okay. First off, guys, this is not any ordinary president. This is Donald Trump here. I mean, in all fairness,
Just like me as an American, I just ain't no ordinary American here. We're special. Trump's special, Elon special, I'm special.
that's a good way to put it. I mean, same way as Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not your typical CEO either. You know what I'm saying? So,
But we're not A autistic, we're B autistic, bosstic.
anyway.
We're not just A grade, we're B grade. We go on that special bus, but it can get from
World
the US
Philippines
to
Clean
Tokyo in
politician.
an hour.
Sophie Daniels, there you go.
So bite me, people. Sophie Daniels.
Yeah, right. All currency is valid different, but rubber comes from one country, minerals in another country. Often, it's all supply. Nobody is an island. No. Yes, I mean
Yeah.
the problem I have with that tariff thing is, again, honestly, I don't know what countries are covered and not covered, even if there's such a clause or stipulation. So I really can't answer. From what I've heard, it's all, but I mean, that's a little hard to do because commodities, when you put tariffs on commodities, that is a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like rubber, that's commodity. That's a valuable commodity. Now, if you put a tariff on blenders, that's fine. But you've put a tariff on commodities, so that's what I mean. I honestly don't know. I didn't really look into it, so I really can't answer that question. But no, it's shouldn't be a blanket. No. Making it says Heidi research Whitney
Yeah.
Web on YouTube and or other platforms.
Gotcha.
World Philippines says USA had all the magic money trees until Bitcoin.
Yep. He said Bitcoin. Yeah, Trump is raking in the lawsuits. Yeah, there's all kinds of them. So, all right. So this did really turn. I get that we've been talking about it, but yeah. So
Um,
yeah, a little sus.
he should, only because, okay, now the Philippines, the country, yes, it should be, yes. The reason being is because, again, this is a Trump wants the Philippines because, again, if you know anything about strategy or anything like that or military maneuvers, America needs the Philippines.
But that's not going to stop the deportations like the president
Well, those
thinks
are
going to
illegals
happen.
anyway.
Right. So he says he's going to ask. And I said, that's also smoke and mirrors for the people. You're not going to sit there and say, you know what, they should have, like I would, I'd be sitting there like, you know, they should have got their paperwork in order. You know, he actually told the press that he'll be talking to him in regards to Filipinos because of how much they contributed to the country. And I'm like, man, that was pretty sweet. But in general, yes, they need the Philippines, but it doesn't mean they're going to not stop the aid because they're not on that list. There is a list of who he's not. I think it's like 4 countries he's not going to stop the aid. And so over the next 90 days or whatever. So, and the Philippines is not on it. So he's saying that he has to go talk to him and stuff.
What do you mean?
There's a list of people. I've asked people in the last live. There's a list of countries that he's still going to continue. I think it's like 5. One was Turkey, I believe. Why Turkey? Because I told the other day I was going to ask you. Why Turkey?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, if I don't know, I don't know.
Okay.
Al Rogan says it's all a distraction to hide the tax cut for billionaires. Trump cares about Trump. Actually, that could be in the works.
Temporary freeze.
I said could. I'm not sure if it is, but it could be.
What's that?
It's all a distraction to hide the tax cut for billionaires. Turkey has the best drones. Nobody at all. George, are you legally allowed to run for a political position in the Philippines? Technically, yes. Not that I will or have the ability to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the backing. I don't have the money. I don't have the influence. But am I allowed? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have the family influence
you
and
have-
money to start with.
You have to
here.
have
It's
you have to have deep
nepotism.
roots. Put it that
Mhm.
way. And for instance, Manny Pacquiao. You guys know Manny Pacquiao? Yeah, this
Oh, gee.
little boxer that somehow, if you guys don't know Manny Pacquiao, I don't know what to tell you.
Deep roots there and a lot of money.
Point being is
A lot of money.
he ran and he lost. Put it that way. So he's got the money, he's got the backing, he's got the background, and he lost. And he's Manny Pacquiao. Get it? That's like Rocky of the Philippines. If the Rocky Balboa of the Philippines ran for president and lost, that tells you something. You know what I'm saying? So, no, you really need background. For example, here in this area, I could talk deep about Philippine politics, especially the local politics. But again, that's not what our channel's about. But point being is I'm familiar with these political parties and why they're running and why they're not. And point being, most of these people that run, they have really, really, really deep pockets.
How long has the U.S. government been giving this kind of money to other militaries? Well, I just woke up. Talk
Yeah.
about being woke.
No, it's been forever.
It says here that the U.S. has aided other militaries to the tune of $18 billion just given to Israel alone
Yeah.
to back their
No. Yeah.
since 1948.
No.
Has given 120 billion since 1948 to the Israeli military alone. You could have built soldiers at that point.
Well,
It says they're to give Israel 3.8 billion annually in aid up to 2028 is the current contract. So I think they're one of those that they're not going to stop. Wow, I had no idea. Had no idea. So I don't get it. Why isn't Trump going to pull all that? He's already pulling all kinds of strings. Why don't he just stop feeding all the other militaries? Why don't we just fight on our own ground? We could just build some Iron Dome or something with that kind of money. Unless it takes 15 trillion, zillion, gazillion dollars to build that. But I don't know. Don't make Heidi president. I get that I can't and all that crap. But I mean, I don't know. So you're saying if the country withdraws all those funds that everybody's just going to turn on us? But can't they all turn on us anyways?
What do you mean?
All that money being given to everybody's military. So we give money to almost all militaries?
What are you saying? Turn on if they stop the aid? No,
Yeah.
they're not going to turn on the U.S. I mean, they're scared.
Okay, so
Okay, now the reason why America gives a lot of money to a lot of foreign militaries is because it has its own little agenda.
uh-oh.
That's why I really try
All
not
right,
to say anything.
all right, let's not. I guess I went too far today.
Yeah, and sadly, the Israel thing, some people would love the reason, some people would hate it. So
All
I'd
right,
rather
so
not
I guess
start.
it's because I'm in here reading to see what countries he will not cut aid off in the next 90 days.
Yeah.
And I
Now,
think Israel was one of them, and I'm not going to. Okay.
has America given aid to the Philippines? Yes and no. America always gave aid in the Philippines sometimes, but not much. Um, but most of the time it gives us leftovers back then. But now since their bases aren't here anymore, it doesn't give us squat. I mean,
Yeah, I think Al Rogan says this is, I believe he's saying allies.
yeah, I
This
mean
is a
back
rural
then we got
economy.
their, remember the Jeeps, the jeepneys, that's where they came from, the US. We got the old bombers, old fighter jets. US gave us those. They gave us the OVs, observation vehicles, that kind of deal. They all mostly came from the US, but when the US pulled out, the US military pulled out, the US cut that off. But
Yeah. Ah,
get your yeah, get your Trump coin, right? There you go.
I still spent all the money on the Melania coin. Yeah, you guys bought the wrong coin. That's what I mean. This is all just weird to me that a president's sitting around doing all these coin things and everybody's aware of it and all the speculation statements. It's the strangest presidency. It's like a train wreck. I can't help but talk about it at some point, especially when the Philippines is involved one way or the other. It's just on the table. And then, of course, these conversations, like side rail and everything. So, but
Yeah. Hector says, "Have I started deporting illegally staying TNTs Filipinos back to their home?" I don't think
yeah, actually,
they have
well, they already had like
detained,
33, or no, some have already been
they've
sent
already
back,
sent them
but
back.
they're saying that was based under Biden already. Biden had already lined a bunch of them up. They said a bunch of just arrived back in Mexico and these other countries
Well, they
were
do.
already Biden signed.
They've been doing it.
Yeah, so
It's not
just
they're gonna do it. They've been doing it.
yeah, didn't they say there was over three? How many did they say was in the United States?
I personally know of a TNT that they brought back in cuffs. Personally, I know of one.
Yeah, so
So
they
no,
said
I'm saying
there's
they've been doing it. Yeah.
300,000 Filipinos, and they've been warning them. They said you should leave now. It's all in the newspapers here. I even put an article up whenever it was a week ago or something stating, yes, you have rights, and yes, this, and it came directly from a Philippine newspaper is where I got it, and so it's just where it is.
USS Liberty, is that the one that got hit off the coast of
Yes,
Israel?
it is. That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea on that. That's just it, guys. On this day and age, the only somebody that I trust right now is George, and I'm going to say that very lightly. Once he leaves this house, I got to do a pat down check on him and the cats and dogs. That's it. I don't. Now I see why when you get older you get all paranoid. But in this day and age, man, I sniff all your body parts when you come back and pat
Yeah.
you down.
Al Rogan says USA gives military aid, then country pays it back to USA military complex.
Do they pay it back? Can they even pay that back? What is it like the payback of like rent a center or something. Nah. Let's all fight the water cannons. Yeah, that's a whole different deal. I don't know why they're not doing something. I guess they're just trying to avoid war or something. I really don't know what's going on there.
Peter George Farrell says they're giving aid, but it's in military hardware. That's what we Americans build.
Gotcha.
Rob Morrison says, George, you can run for vice president for party operations for your barangay. Best you can do it.
I'm not going to be a good first lady on nothing.
Even at barangay level, I'm telling you right now, even the ones that run barangay level, some of them that do run, God bless their hearts, they're really trying, and
They invest a lot of money in that, don't they?
yeah,
And then it doesn't really have
and they
much of a
lose.
pay, right? And there's no real pay to those jobs.
Most of the ones that do win, again, they have some real serious money.
And you're just, are you talking about like the barangay captain and them guys?
Oh, I'm okay. I know most of these barangay captains don't look like much to look at because they don't really dress up or anything like that. But trust me, they have more money than most of these Filipinos.
Okay, sidebar here. Sidebar.
No, most of them have money. Even just to
talking about the
run,
local
they have
politics.
money. Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay. I was just asking because there's like the barangay captains and the barangay people that go around and stuff, and I was just asking if they're linked.
His son lost, and he's got money.
Yeah, see, I can't see wasting that kind of money. I'm just going,
Yeah, no.
I'd rather squirrel my money away on orange slices and pizza and sit here and just wait for the, doomsday clock.
Yeah, nobody at all says military is a big employer. Sales are huge. If you're not selling to anyone, someone else will sell and profit. There you go.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of back stuff to all of this and then contracts to build this from the military. I know it's not that simple, but for somebody like me that doesn't, one second here. Let me see. Pizza delivery. Oh, the Department of State has provided over $463 million in security assistance since 2015 to the Philippines, according to Google. No, quite a bit. Actually, quite a bit. Yeah, I'm aware. When I did a live stream the other day, I talked about in the last 61 years, it's billions and billions and billions, and everything. And then somebody left a message on our other channel, and it said something about the money that's being given has nothing to do with the streets in your neighborhood. And I said, au contraire, it does. It says that the money was meant for infrastructure, roads, and a bunch of other things. So it's,
Yeah, thanks for that, April. I did not know that.
What's that?
But
oh, you're talking about for security itself?
Yeah. No, that's dollars.
Okay, so when you mean security.
No, I guess so. I guess that would make sense. And then No, I'm just trying to figure out where the money's going, that's all. No. I can't read that. Where? Oh, I don't know.
No, I know it is.
Oh.
Yeah, taxes are increasing under a chump for the bottom 90%. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of truth and humor. This is scary to listen to Heidi talk about George. Is that like somebody special? That's twice they've mentioned something.
Al Rogan says hospitals in trouble. Like I
Evidently,
said,
you're new.
well, yeah,
Or one of his girlfriends or family members, not sure which. And actually, it doesn't matter. The real scary part is what you don't hear when the cameras are off. So, that's exactly why I made this cup. You dang right I'm going to keep Dunkin' Donuts profitable. Actually, you're wrong. Wrong company, fool. I mean,
no. Most of these are.
yeah, just comments going back and forth. We're just kind of going through the comments. And yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up. Yeah. See, those comments were held, the other ones anyway. So your crap couldn't be seen anyways, fools. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. This is the end of the live stream. Moving on. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us. We will see you guys in a few days. Come up with some new topics. And we appreciate everybody stopping in. And thank you to all of our members that came in. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Thank you, Ted, for coming in. Philip Maisie. And of course, we had Scott that was in the house. Sarah was in the house. Let's see.
Yeah.
Who else we have in there? Okay, so I'm just being, it was a bigger chat today. We're just going to go through and talk about the members. All right, guys, we will see you guys the next time. And we will talk to you guys later.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Cindy. Bye, Hector.
Yeah. Have a great day. Love you guys. Click the like button. Thank you, nobody all. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.